hat, so I'm hatless today.
Why didn't you shave your head?
Sad nuts. I don't like having nuts. Makes me feel bad.
Because of all that hair? Is all the hair you got? I'm just rubbing it in our face?
Well, sometimes you gotta flaunt it. If it's the only thing you have to flaunt, show it off. You like your suspension mount we got?
Didn't know that I had one.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
It's excellent. Thank
Excellent.
you so much.
Hey, man. Just want you to look good on camera. Want people to come because they want to see arms.
Mm-hmm.
Hux and Neil have been the faces for far too long. It's time for us to take back over with our
Take it over.
gorgeous good looks.
Oh, if I all of a sudden just get up and walk out of the room, it's because work's calling. I'm waiting on him to, well, I'm going into work in the morning. I'm waiting on him to call me.
Oh, you just need to make a phone call. You're not like leaving here to go to work.
They're calling me to come in. I'm waiting on them to call me to let me know to come in the morning.
You got an insider that messaged you firsthand?
Yeah, but yeah, he already called off. I'm just waiting on him to call me in.
Is there anybody else they would call before you?
Not when I signed up today. I would have been first to be called. So.
Nope. Yep, you're right. That's happening.
Oh yeah.
It's happening. So welcome to the live stream. We are not particularly close to jumping into the show, but people like being here anyways. Let's see how many there are today. What was last week, Arms? A record total of like
2 or 3?
2, 3, 4? Live stream is still a work in progress. Work in progress. 0. I don't know why it doesn't go to Facebook anymore.
Yeah, I wonder why that is.
I do not know. Doesn't stream there. That's where Alexis would watch us.
Yeah.
Man, I kind of like Eli Manning this week.
I don't hate it.
No, not at all.
Is
I
it
don't hate
sad?
it.
I think Eli Manning. Well, we'll get there. Like
We'll
I'm
get
sitting
there.
there looking. I'm like, man, dude with motivation. Like kid, he lost his job. Now he's just playing for a job next year.
Against a shitty Eagles pass defense. So
Is he going to play next year, though?
He'll be on another team next year. Yes.
You don't think he'll retire?
No.
I think he's got another year in him.
He hasn't had the last 2 years in him. So.
Somebody will give him a chance. I don't know who. Somebody.
Miami, probably. Well, let's replace this bridge quarterback with a worse bridge quarterback, and that's saying a lot when you talk about Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I wholeheartedly figured it'd be in Denver.
Makes sense.
Not anymore.
I still could. No, Drew Lock's probably got that.
Oh, it's one game, but yeah.
Well, they're not gonna bench him for 2020 from the get go. Maybe 3 games in, 6 games in, but
Yeah, we'll see how he finishes the year.
he looks solid.
He did. Tough division game, you know. I watched some of the second half.
Don't let me forget this during the actual recording, but like Ron Rivera, that whole firing. Have you seen like the rumors that part of it was due to personnel, which are leading people to think that Will Greer is going to get playing time?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Interesting.
Kind of hope it's right.
It'd
Be nice to see
interesting
him.
play. I mean,
he came in.
this.
Yeah.
It's not like Kyle Allen is setting the world on fire. He's done okay.
Yeah, he's playing.
He's playing backup level
Hit and
quarterback
miss
right now.
Yeah. He's playing Ryan Fitzpatrick level quarterback right now.
So, how we should approach this as we go to each game is just talk about notable injuries. And that'll just make things a lot easier. So we can pretty much stop the research, start recording.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Huh.
3 viewers, Woo! Record.
Hux?
Record.
Thoughts on that?
Sure. Roll it with it.
I'm just saying that way we don't have to. That could take me another hour to get through these.
Yeah, I mean,
The remainder that I don't have.
I'm still
with
on.
you.
I'm still in game 4.
We'll work through it. We'll each talk enough to get the rest of our stuff together.
I'll try to pull it up.
All right. I'm going to lead us in. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Shouldn't hit that yet. Today on the Back Row Fantasy Show, we talk Week 14 sits and starts, and we talk about the crazy happenings in the league during the playoff push. Playoffs, Back Row.
Welcome to the Back Row Fantasy Show with your hosts Jeremy Barker and Aaron Arms.
All right, so I feel terrible right now because I've got the new intro that says with Barker, Arms, and Hux, and I forgot to load it to the sound pad. I apologize,
One
Hux.
freaking job.
I've been gone all day and all night. Day and night. That lonely Barker walks Athens streets at night.
That's really the only reason I did the show this week.
Man,
The only reason I did the show was to hear it, and then
I feel awful.
you should.
I
I had a speech prepared and everything.
Hey, we can start over. I can load it.
No.
Oh, okay. He's not that upset then. I was willing to do it.
I don't
Start
want-
all over.
I don't want to pity. It's all right.
What if I played it now? Would that make you feel
Nope.
better?
No, just it had to. Let's just throw it in at the end of the show.
Okay. I could probably get that ready. Hand me that cord running out of the back of there. Hux, the USB looking cord. That's always good. Don't pull it out. Just hand.
Don't pull it there. Pull the other end.
Yeah,
there we go.
There you go, big guy.
There you go. You got
That's
it. There you
That's
go.
it.
Keep it going.
That's it.
All right. Look.
Thank you.
Man, it's like a
To all 3 of you watching,
Yes,
thank you.
Yes.
cut the umbilical cord moment there.
But yeah, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
So proud of
I'm
you.
proud of you. Look at that beard right out of the womb. That's beautiful. we're so proud.
I feel like he probably did have a beard out of the womb.
Oh, it's very
did.
possible. You know what cracks me up the most? Like, I have never seen anything that resembles Hux more than that cartoon meme. And I'll just
know which one you're talking. I know exactly what you're
I'll
talking
just
about.
use the one that relates to me. Like, do you like Tool? Yes. And you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about,
I know
right?
exactly which one you're talking about.
That cartoon, we'll post that on the Twitter. But that little bald character with the beard, it's like, it looks like Hux.
Oh yeah, no, it's Hux.
So every time I see that, I'm like, look at Hux getting a
Doesn't-
beach.
doesn't
Look at
look-
Hux getting a beach.
I love that's my favorite term for it, by the way.
I know.
Beach.
I said, well, I didn't want to say the words. So I thought maybe some people would be out, oh, that's not that dirty if you call it a beach. It's not as dirty when you call it beach.
I mean, if you know what it is, but yeah, hey,
Still not that, I could say the other and it would sound awful. On the show.
oh yeah, no, beach.
Yeah, I won't do that.
We're good with Beach.
Beach.
So beach. Now we have to rate it explicit. Anyway, continue.
Well, we could be talking about our buddy Benjamin.
I doubt it.
Beach. You could. Let's let's talk about things. Something we didn't. It sucks doing one show a week sometimes because we don't get to talk about the after effect. And Devontae Parker is proving me wrong on every single level as a Miami Dolphins fan. I watched every play from that game, and Devontae Parker absolutely amazed me. He played like a elite level game.
Yeah, I mean, he's finally these past 3-4 weeks, he's finally playing, at the level that he was expected to.
Yeah, that's what they drafted him for.
Yeah.
Was that.
So-
He's a first rounder.
I mean, it's not like he's not had the targets before, though.
No,
I mean,
that's
think
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's
Two-
finally putting it together.
2016, he had 88 targets, ended up 744 yards, 4 touchdowns. 2017, 96 targets, 1 touchdown, 670 yards. Was he injured last year?
Yeah.
I was going to say, because the stats are hot garbage.
Yeah.
But this year so far, 93 targets, like 950 yards. Or
Does he have that much?
854 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Here's the incredible part about Parker. 2 games under 10 points this year.
He's been
He's
consistent.
been solid. Yeah.
He's had more games under 10 or less games under 10 points this year than he had over 10 points most years.
Yeah, maybe all combined. I mean, he really, and that's why he's proving me wrong, because we're talking 3 years. Is this his fifth year?
Fifth year in the league.
We're talking 4 years of me
Disappointment.
watching him and being like, he sucks.
I mean,
He can't separate. He doesn't leap. He doesn't
he
use his
finally
size.
has a quarterback that's not afraid to throw the ball down the field.
Could be it as
Fitzpatrick.
well.
I mean,
Could be it as well.
I mean, not to put salt in the wound, but does it make you wonder, like, if Tannehill had stayed healthy down there, what this guy could have been?
No. It doesn't.
Tannehill looks good.
He does, but he's still not a Devontae Parker style quarterback.
Okay.
He's still finding the open guy. The guy's got to be clearly open, or Tannehill won't even entertain throwing it to him. And Parker could never get open.
5 out of last 7 weeks, Parker's had 10 or more targets.
Yeah. But if you watch
That's incredible.
Tannehill, even now, even though he's playing good, he does not throw to one-on-one coverage if it's tight. You got to be open, or he's not throwing it.
A lot of quarterbacks throw to just the. I mean, look at Tom Brady.
No, I get that.
Tom Brady throws to like a guy that doesn't have 4 yards around him.
Yeah, I get that. I'm just saying Tannehill won't
Or no one
take
within 4 yards. Excuse
a
me.
chance. He is the anti-Brett Favre. He is not a gunslinger.
no, I mean, that's why you won't see him throw for more than like 225 yards a week.
Yeah, he won't take the deep shot because it's too risky.
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick don't give a damn.
No, he's slinging it.
He's like, I've been here 15 years, son. They fired me 17
Let's say
times
he's
in
got
15
nothing.
years.
He's got nothing to lose.
He doesn't.
Nothing to
Nothing
lose.
at all.
Like, what are you going to do? Bench me?
He'll probably be
It's the first
starting
time that
somewhere.
happened this
He'll
year.
be starting
Been
somewhere else
there,
next
done
year.
that, brother.
He got benched twice, 3 times last year.
I think he's been benched 3 times this year. I mean, he's probably looking at the calendar, like trying to predict his own benching, and
He's got a bet on himself in Vegas.
and then predicting when he comes back to win them 3 games.
Well, that's actually, he usually runs about a 4-game streak of being a stud.
Yeah.
That's what he did in Tampa Bay. It was like 4 games a stud, hot garbage, 3, 4 interceptions.
yeah.
Something stupid. And then they bench him after doing that a couple times. And then he comes back. He's like, all right, he might be a garbage for a week or two, then a few games of being a stud. This will be his 3rd week of being a stud, I think.
It's basically like he plays 3 or 4 good games. He's like, well, I'm bored with this. Let me throw some picks. 3 or 4 of those, I'm bored again.
Let's make
I'm
it
gonna
interesting.
Be good.
The ultimate yo-yo quarterback, man.
No doubt about that. I do love him though. He is hard not to love. I
Oh,
love
yeah,
that guy.
I've always liked Fitzpatrick.
Our very own Rich, is it Lavalley? Lavelli? I don't know how to say his last name.
Laval.
I think it's Lavelli.
We might
Anyhow,
need some,
rub beards
clarification.
with him.
I would
And-
just pronounce it Lavelle.
No, I don't think so. I think he's got too easy at the end.
Anyways,
Anyhow, rub beards with Fitzy.
Oh, yeah.
In London.
really, it was a beautiful picture.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, because if me and you rub beards,
Mm-hmm.
like we'd basically be kissing. But those two rub beards because our beards are very thin and
Oh, yeah.
scaled down. But those two guys, I mean, they got a foot to work with. They can rub beards and still not even be close enough to breathe on each other.
Yeah, get some
Impressive.
distance out there. Yeah,
It's impressive.
but so what about the Ron Rivera firing? Since
That-
we're talking about not fantasy related, I'm sort of fantasy related stuff.
Glad you brought that up. I'll be very quick. Not to talk too much about a simple rumor, but rumors say it had to do with personnel, and people are connecting the dots, saying Will Grier might get some playing time. Maybe the owner of the Panthers has thought Kyle Allen's not been good enough to not try this young rookie out.
He hasn't.
I mean, he's been serviceable. I think they're
He has.
5-5 with him as the starter this year.
But at the same, I mean, maybe now's the time because they're pretty much out of the playoff
Yeah,
picture,
I mean they're
right?
5-7. Even winning out, they wouldn't even get in. They need help, so probably
I don't know. I think they can get in if they went out.
Maybe.
they,
I'd say it's possible.
would need help. Yeah,
no,
I'm not
that'd be a
saying,
wild card. But,
Yeah,
If they lose, they're probably done.
But the crazy thing about it is, they're going to make the move now after he just threw for 3 touchdowns and 2 touchdowns and 250 yards, plus both games. Why not make the move after the Falcons game whenever he didn't get into the end zone.
And threw 4 picks?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Allen's been. I mean, usually puts up okay yards, but I mean, not a big touchdown guy. So, yeah, they fire Ron Rivera after the guy's 2 of his best 3 games of the season.
Yeah,
Ever a personnel move. So I mean, maybe I'd like to see Will Grier get it because I think that he's got that Brett Favre gunslinger mentality as you're referring to with Fitzpatrick.
It's time to see what you got, because if they are considering moving on from Cam, they need to know exactly what they got.
I think that's a
And
done deal.
They know what they got in Allen. They need to find out what they got in Grier
Yeah, but
before they go and draft a guy when they didn't need
yeah.
to.
Okay.
I'm already seeing the Tua dots being connected. Like,
I saw that on, I think CBS has him mocked to the Panthers, and I'm like,
makes sense, but not without seeing what you got in Will Grier first.
I wonder how having I guess it hasn't affected CMC having Kyle Allen. I was going to say having
not at
not that
all.
running threat, but this is the best year of his career.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I mean maybe it just helps CMC to have the more throwing. Or obviously, I guess it does.
Yeah,
I mean, and look at the numbers DJ Moore's putting up. I mean, he's having a
Great.
He's on pace
Yeah.
for he's on pace for 100 catches.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Curtis Samuel's still
I
serviceable.
mean,
DJ Moore, gosh, I had it written down somewhere. Long story short, like last 3 or 4 weeks in a row, it's like 80+ yards, and I want to say he got in the end zone 2 or 3 times in that time frame.
yeah.
He's
I
been-
think 3 touchdowns last 2 weeks.
It's been great, and I don't think he's dropped below 6 targets in that time frame.
I actually have it written down. He has had 9 targets or more since the bye week, whichever week
That's what
that
it
was.
was.
So,
Okay.
I thought I had that 3-game stack written down on DJ, but
I
same game.
I
I've
looked
got
it up
written on Calvin
Ridley.
Yeah.
They're very similar over the last 3 games.
Yep.
So I guess we might as well start with that game.
Look, you want to do a few sit-start questions first?
Oh,
We've
yeah,
got,
yeah,
We've
yeah,
got a
yeah, let's do
Twitter
that.
lineup with some, and then our very own Neil Drox. Neil, the crab man, the crab mentality. Neil, he has a start and sit question for Bark and Hux.
Arms, you got to sit this one out, buddy.
Holy crap! Wow, you got to give the listeners, give the listeners what they want.
All right, I'll just go outside.
That's insane. Lamar or Patty? He's got 2. So Lamar or Patty? I go Lamar. I'm
going Lamar.
Yeah, I'm currently out on the Patty over Lamar thing. Patty's not played. He's not
No, but I
done
mean-
a lot. He will. We know he will. We know he's great.
And that Chiefs Patriots game could be a shootout. I mean, he could put up. They could just go out there and sling it. Even though Brady and the Patriots haven't looked like they've been able to do that lately.
Well, that's Patty. He can do it
But-
anytime. It's just right now, I think you have to ride the down wave that he's on and just not risk it. If you've got Lamar, you're not going to bench Patty Mahomes over anyone else.
Listen, I'm not gonna. If I had, I'm not gonna roster both of those guys anyways. One of them's gone.
Well, Neil does have them rostered.
Yeah,
in
that's
the
what
grill.
I'm saying.
Depends on the value you're getting. I mean, if someone's not willing to pay a ton,
Someone will
why
be.
not?
Somebody would.
They should,
Somebody
as they should.
Right. I
But
mean,
anyways, yeah, I'm going Lamar Jackson. You just can't sit that guy right now. He's been on fire. I mean,
league MVP right now.
Playing,
he has 18 total touchdowns in the last 5 games,
but
400 yards rushing the last 5 games.
He's the number 9, 9th in the league in
He
rushing.
needs 23 yards, I believe it is, to get 1,000 yards rushing this year.
Yep.
both of them are playing
Thank you for
really good pass defenses.
and you're welcome for Patty Mahomes. It's a really good trade. I'm still happy
yeah.
about it. Sorry, Arms.
Both of them are playing great pass defenses. So Patrick Mahomes playing
Yeah.
the Patriots this week. The Bills are playing against the Ravens this week. I mean, that's
And that's why I kind of lean Lamar anyways. He's going to get the rushing.
Yep.
I'm with you.
He's going to score a touchdown one way or the other.
Yeah.
Every game, he's going to score a touchdown one way or the other.
The kid's just incredible. I actually was going back to look at whenever his rookie draft class, because I could have swore that I'm like, this guy's going to be the best out of the group, and then everyone's like, what? Okay, I'm just saying, I love the guy.
Can I-
He looked like a stud. I couldn't find it though.
Can I clear the air on something? The reason that Neil didn't ask you is because you're his opponent.
Oh,
And then Bauer said, I'm sure Arms will answer anyways.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
It's all day. It's Lamar Jackson over everybody else right now.
Yeah, I agree. But Patty, it would shock nobody if Patty Mahomes outscored Lamar rest of the season. It would shock no one because
No,
it's
not
Patty
at all.
Mahomes. He's capable. It's just, I think right now we're seeing what he's like coming off injury, an unfamiliar place for him. And even though he's only been in the league a couple years, but this is just, it's taken him a minute to get back into it. And his offense is kind of depleted. He doesn't
just,
have.
I mean, the lack of the run game has just kind of hurt that offense a little bit.
It has. And that, well, I'll save that. Let's find our Twitter questions, and then we'll get on to our first game. Of course, I'm not logged into Twitter on my
Nice job, Barker.
laptop.
Nice job.
We'll just pull out the phone.
Now, one thing I will say about Lamar and Patrick Mahomes, I mean, based on the price, probably passing on both of them on DraftKings in favor of somebody else. Like maybe a Kirk Cousins or, Matt Ryan. I mean, they've got some decent matchups.
I don't know. I think
you save a chunk of money, is I guess my point.
you do, but at 7,400, I just think he's still priced too low. I mean,
okay.
I mean, and he's lower. I mean, obviously the matchup's not as good as. I mean, he was 7,000 last week, so he's higher than he was last week. But he played the Niners last week. But 7,400. I mean, he's been priced as high as 7,700. But I think the points he's putting up, he should be over 8,000. I mean, he's giving you CMC points, and CMC's over 10,000 for like 5 weeks in a row now.
Is CMC worth it this week?
But the Bills are allowing.
I think
so. And granted, they've not played anyone like Lamar Jackson. They're only allowing like 12 points a game to opposing quarterbacks.
Right.
New England, and same thing with Patrick Mahomes, allowing under 10 points a game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, both of those are pretty darn formidable defenses. So that's where I look someplace else. Like, all right, do I take the chance of this defense being that great? And both of them offer a little bit on the ground. Their mobility kind of sets them apart, and that's in addition to the arm talent.
Why Lamar's so great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This year.
If not for that, he would be what? Jacoby Brissett.
I mean,
He'd
A
probably
little
be
better.
he'd
A little
probably-
better. I'm
he'd
not
probably
trying to
be-
discredit.
If you just knock his numbers in half, he'd be Josh Allen. So
Yeah.
I mean, his rushing stats. I mean, if you just knock him in half, he's Josh Allen's numbers.
Yeah. Makes
Which
sense.
still a starting quarterback.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
Just
Yeah.
going by stats, I mean, yeah, he's still. I mean, Allen's been consistent,
Yeah.
20+ point guy, especially on DraftKings. So, in your take of Lamar being too high, you paying down, pay for Josh Allen at 6,200.
There you go.
Mean,
Bada bing.
Save over
I like
1,000
it.
at that
Yep.
point.
First question. Lambert, Mixon or Le'Veon?
Le'Veon. I didn't even look at who they're playing.
Mixon.
yeah, I like Mixon.
Le'Veon's
playing the Dolphins.
The Dolphins.
Yeah.
I don't
Le'Veon's
care.
disappointed. I don't even know what he did against
It
the
doesn't
Bengals
matter.
last week.
It doesn't
It
even
wasn't
matter
like-
who they play
he's
anymore.
disappointing.
Not to mention
Mixon-
Miami's playing well.
Mixon actually hasn't been that bad lately.
Not lately.
I mean, on DraftKings, anyways, he's at least 17 points in 4 of the last 5 games. It's not that bad. So I mean, I go Mixon. I think. I mean, they're playing Cleveland. I don't know.
It's
Le'Veon's
not
just
like
been disappointing. Man.
Okay, you say that about Mixon, but Le'Veon Bell, 4 out of the last 6 games has been. One of them was 16.8, but the 2 of them were over 17. One of them at 15.8.
I guess I'm just looking at the
You know what I
pricing
mean?
of the fact. I'm looking at a DraftKings point of it, I guess.
I believe
Which that's probably
he's doing a dynasty
right.
question.
So
We've got a new watcher. I bet you can't guess who it is. He goes by the title of 96.7 The Lamb. Meh. He really is on there, and he named himself 96.7 The Lamb. Unless that's Bauer, who changed his name. I don't know. Who knows? But I love it nonetheless.
I guess in dynasty redraft whatever, Le'Veon's got the better matchup,
And
and they're
Le'Veon,
probably going to be similar points.
they will. That's the biggest thing. I think
It's
they're
just, Le'Veon's just been. I guess they've both been a huge disappointment this year.
absolutely
Both of 'em.
Both of them are. I mean, are they even buy low candidates in the offseason? Like,
No.
do you want them? I don't want Le'Veon next year.
Le'Veon's going to age out.
I would
anytime.
lean Mixon. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd consider Mixon a buy low. I think there's still potential for him to.
Man, you almost got to see this.
He's a good
this
running back. They need
line.
what's his name? Jonah Williams. They need Jonah Williams back
Yeah.
from a few episodes ago, and a little more draft work, a little more free agency into the line, and Mixon will be fine.
I mean, they just cut their right tackle. I mean,
Yeah.
Andre Smith.
Yeah.
He's been a disappointment since he got in the league. So
pretty much. Lambert did also say he believes it's a Gase problem with Le'Veon, less so a Le'Veon problem. Which
Probably right on that.
could very well be. Gase is a crazy asshole. So
Dude's nuts.
he's friggin' out there, man.
Just nuts. I mean,
he's out there. Tannehill or Cousins this week?
Cousins.
Cousins.
Yeah, Cousins.
Tannehill is 25 points for you, or in our league format, 30. Or he's 9.
Yeah,
He's-
they're playing
he's
the
risky.
Raiders this week.
Yeah, good matchup for them, even though the line and backers are good.
Yeah, but Cousins is playing the Lions.
And Cousins
I mean,
is,
that's probably a more favorable matchup.
And if Dalvin is limited at all, they could just be throwing the ball.
yeah.
So.
And we're talking week 1 of the playoffs. You go with the upside.
yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Well,
So don't be playing it safe this time of year.
I don't think that. Excuse me. Cousins has the better floor too.
Yeah.
I don't think
No,
there's
I
any question
agree.
about that.
You're
I mean,
right.
he's higher ceiling, lower floor. You go Cousins.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's Cousins easily.
Fitzpatrick and Minshew also on the wire. Just go with Cousins.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely Cousins.
Who's Jacksonville playing?
Doesn't matter.
Love
Cousins,
Gardner.
Cousins
but
might have 3
Gardner's
touchdowns.
very Tannehill-like as well. Gardner's not like he's not throwing
Playing
4
Chargers.
touchdowns on you. He's throwing 1 or 2 touchdowns on you, 270 pass yards, and he's a good quarterback.
I
He's
want to
looked
say
great.
he averaged like 2 touchdowns a game. I mean, he's solid.
He's very solid. He's startable, but if you got Cousins,
I'd
just
lead
play
Cousins. I mean, Fitzpatrick would be tempting, I guess, because of the matchup against the Jets. But
Yeah, but the
it's in New
Jets
York. But
haven't-
I'm going with Cousins.
The
yeah,
Jets
I mean,
haven't. The defense hasn't looked like trash lately.
Yeah. So if you need someone to kiss for your playoff game, the first one, Cousins. That's who you want to kiss. Cousins.
Oh, kiss. I see what you did there.
I
I'm
don't
like,
think-
I don't know where you're going with
That was
this,
it.
but all right.
That was unintentional. Okay, last question. It was
Real quick to touch on that. So
Sure.
the Jets, I mean, they allowed some points to the Giants, 27 points to the Giants, but held Washington 17, the Raiders to 3. Although neither of those quarterbacks are performing at elite levels, I don't know. They've blew out Cincinnati, or no, they lost to Cincinnati. Excuse me, the Jets lost to Andy Dalton-led Cincinnati. So I don't know about Fitz. I think he's still, like I said earlier. He usually does a 3 or 4 game stretch, and this will be his 3rd game of being a star. So maybe, but nah, Cousins
Star.
for me.
Dede or McLaurin.
McLaurin.
I gotta go McLaurin as well. And I like Dede,
I'm going DD.
but I'm going with the upside of McLaurin. Again, it's playoff week. The upside of McLaurin is huge. Dede is a safer floor, though.
Is he?
Yes. Yeah.
Is he-
Dede's like 4 catches minimum, 50 yards minimum. McLaurin could go 1 for 19. He could go 2 for
I mean,
35.
he has Haskins at quarterback, so
Yeah, it's scary. I mean, it's literally the league's worst quarterback.
But with the emergence of Darius Geis,
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
as good as he's looking, that's got to free up McLaurin,
But Washington's kind of going run heavy.
as they should. They
So
got a
McLaurin
stud.
may not get the opportunities he was once getting.
I mean, the absolute star. I mean, one thing, Dede in the last 3 weeks hasn't fell below 6 targets. I personally just think McLaurin gets back on track.
It's debatable either way. I'm glad you brought up Geis, though, because rewatching that game, holy smokes. Like, Darius Geis is a beast.
Oh yeah,
I have not seen in a long time a running back fall forward like he does.
I had
He's forward it doesn't matter how many tackles, he's falling forward.
Denny, who is the ultimate, like, he gets deals that you're like, what? He offered me 2 high firsts. One of them's either the number 1 or number 2 pick, and the other one I think is going to be a top 5 for Darius Geis, and I turned him down.
Oh, I'd take it. That's sell high opportunity.
This is whenever I was still in playoff position, though. So I'm like, I got to keep Geis.
Man,
I think Geis is
I
going to
still
be.
take it.
I think Geis is
what did he offer you?
2 high first.
Like possible pick 1 and pick 5. You take that in this draft.
Yeah, I think so too.
Once again, in playoff position,
I get it.
Yeah,
already,
I
get it.
Yeah.
already lost carry on Johnson.
Totally get it.
Needed Geis.
Totally get it.
And right now, I mean, do you take someone who's doing well, can be a star? Or, I mean, what are you going to do? You got a bug getting you, guy?
Hey, it's not on the audio, so we'll just keep talking. I'll get it.
No, Geis, he's just,
Come here, Buggy.
I mean, we saw his potential last week. I mean,
yes. And he's gotten in the end zone He got in the end zone against the Jets, kind of faltered against the Lions, which is disappointing. And then, blew up against the Panthers. Averaged 12.9 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns, and offers a little bit in the pass game.
Yeah, and that's the big thing. Is he going to develop into that 3-down guy? It'll be interesting to see how they use him going forward. Because Peterson was a yard short of 100 last week, so they were using both of them. Both of them look good.
You guys want to hear?
Guys only had 10 touches or 10
Right.
catches or rushes. Excuse me.
You want to hear a quick dick move of the week in redraft?
Sure.
So I played a lot of sleeper bot leagues, mostly because we did the listener leagues, and I'll be completely honest, not one time did I miss a lineup, but I didn't work the waiver wire in sleeper bot because I'm pretty busy, so I didn't put a lot of time into that. But you can't have a listener league and not be in the league. So, I set my best lineup every week. If I had a guy out, I'd add someone off waivers, but I didn't actually. I'd add them off the free agent waivers. I wouldn't put in bids. I was too busy to put in bids. So I missed the playoffs in like 4 out of 5 of those. But I did pick up Geis in every single league that I was already out of the playoffs in, just to make it interesting for the rest of them.
I don't know how it was available.
That's what I was going to say. I don't know how he was available anyways.
I'm not talking this week. It's been like 3 weeks ago before he came back from injury.
Still.
As soon as
I know.
they were talking about him making that return,
I snagged him everywhere.
He should have been picked up.
But you got to realize also, I had the top waiver bid because I hadn't done any waivers all season long.
True.
I had him in several leagues. I think I've got him in every league or almost every league. And he was worth keeping for an IR spot. The kid had great potential. So,
well, yeah, you knew when he was coming back, he's a lead running back. He's a double-digit carry back instantly. So, and he has been. He's been good.
So, anyhow,
I apologize. That wasn't the last question, but this one will be super quick. And one of them's already playing. So, but New England defense or Dallas defense? This has no relevance now because Dallas is getting whipped as we speak. So, New England defense. I'd go New England.
I would have went New England anyway.
I would have too.
They are somewhat matchup proof, and even if Patrick Mahomes hangs 30 on them, I think they can get a couple interceptions and a few sacks.
Well, there's a couple more that was posted on my Twitter.
Oh, go ahead.
This was got to start 2.
24/7 Bears.
Got to start 2. Geis, Singletary, Eckler, Miles Sanders.
Geis and
Dang
Sanders.
on, that's tough.
I think it's Geis and Sanders all day.
Geis, Sanders, Singletary, and who?
Eckler.
Eckler.
And Eckler?
Geis,
Man.
Singletary, Eckler, Sanders.
I think
Eckler and
start
Gordon
2.
have a nice matchup this week. Miles Jack is out for the season.
And
That
Eckler's
run
still
defense is depleted.
still been getting double digits.
Points, yeah. But I don't think you can go wrong on that one, to be honest. But I kind of lean with arms. I kind of like Geis.
Geis, yeah, definitely sit Singletary, and just you can go Geis and either one of the other two.
Yeah.
Well, and Gordon is kind of already back to Melvin Gordon status.
Well, Eckler's
And they
gotten
still
enough
use
in the
Eckler.
receiving game, the pass game, so I think he's still relevant.
Yeah, so both teams are bad as far as that. The Jaguars.
Well, that has a potential to be a running back game, too.
Yeah.
Fournette and
It could be a dual 30 carries apiece.
right. So Eckler and Gordon versus Fournette sort of match.
Yeah.
All right, one more half-point PPR: Debo or Kenyon Drake.
Debo. And I
I've
like
been
Drake.
loving me some Drake lately.
Yeah, me too. But Debo's been better. Debo's been a top 10 receiver over the last 3 or 4 weeks.
I don't know if he's been top 10. It sounds about right.
find
but
out.
What I can tell you is, 2 games of over 100 yards and 2 games with a touchdown. So he's just not letting you down.
No.
13-plus points a week. If you go all the way back to the Panthers game, he got in the end zone on the ground. So out of his last 6 games, 1 game under 10 points. Do you want more than that? Absolutely. But
Well, yeah, sure.
Kenyon Drake could leave you with some disappointment with as many.
Number
heads.
9 since week 10. So that's a 4-week span. Number 9 overall.
This one isn't a question, but Matt Bruning said
Matty Ice.
he wants to do an off-season pod about prospects again this year, and he wants to ask Arms what he thinks about Kyler Murray now.
Whoa.
What
He-
Kyler-
he's
what
going to tell you what's
What
Kyler
Kyler
Murray
do
done.
last week?
I knew it. He's still not
What did
putting
he
any
do last
respect
week?
on his name.
I'll pull that up real quick because I want to
Okay.
say they scored 7 points. So 163 yards in the air. Great job, Kyler.
Oh, Jesus. God.
150 the week before.
Let's just
2 touchdowns.
Let's
no, 3
do
touchdowns.
this. I forgot to do this before the show, but let's do this. Is Kyler Murray a long-term franchise quarterback for Arizona?
Right now,
Just a yes or no.
they're not going to draft a quarterback this year. They're not going to draft one
That's
next
not what
year.
I asked at all. Is Kyler Murray a franchise? Is he the
Hold on a second.
long-term
Hold on a second.
franchise quarterback for the Cardinals?
Hold on a second. Let me just go ahead and get this out. Baker Mayfield looked twice as good as Kyler Murray did last year.
Disagree with that.
The stats don't.
Not twice.
Okay,
He looked
damn
better.
near twice the touchdowns. I mean, and he didn't start the
Kyler
first 4 or 5 games.
It's not all stats. It's what you see. It's what you see.
Okay,
Like
Baker
this-
Mayfield looked like a leader. He had his team fired up. He threw a ton of, 26 touchdowns. Had a little bit of mobility. Did something on the ground. Similar stuff to what Kyler's doing. Baker doesn't look like a franchise quarterback right now.
I'm just saying he didn't look twice as good. He looked better. But Kyler
Significantly better.
Murray has done things in the league that people are like, wow, only a handful of quarterbacks can do that. His long-term
He looks
projection
good.
is a franchise quarterback.
He looks good. I'm not in the down weeks. I'm just like, yeah.
I understand
way,
he's
that-
not set the world on fire for that team yet, but the promise is
Yeah, the
massive.
potential's there still. And I
Massive.
think
By the way, I was scrolling through here just randomly, and on my fantasy league, they have him as a week 4 bye. I don't know who they played week 4, but he scored 21.84 points, and it says bye week beside it. I'm like, what the heck? On my fantasy league right there. Week 4 bye, 21.84 points.
Phew,
The
good week.
dude's scoring when whenever they're not even playing.
He had to
No.
have played Cincy that week, right? Even though it says bye. It just,
No, they had a week 12 bye, which I'm like, what happened here?
wow.
But no, I don't think he's ever going to be like league MVP good. I don't think I personally
wouldn't go that far either because that's.
I don't think he's going to be a
tough.
Super Bowl winning quarterback. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think they're with what they've got on this team. Like they've got some decent receivers, but there's still a lot of adding before they're even a viable playoff team.
Do they?
And they're in a terrible division to be a playoff
yeah.
team.
Do they draft a quarterback in the next 5 years?
well, that's what I was going to ask. Does he play for a new does he get a new contract from Arizona after his rookie contract's up?
I mean, that's kind of a loaded question. Look how many trash quarterbacks get
crap.
extended. But yes,
Moving on.
Yes, he does get another contract
Okay,
from
there
Arizona.
we go.
So
We got a yes.
he is a franchise quarterback.
He is
then.
their franchise quarterback. I don't know about a franchise quarterback. Derek Carr got extended, all right, and he's not looked too great.
Wow, he won't be there next year.
That's what I'm hearing. But
Yeah.
my God, please don't let it be Justin Herbert.
I
But then again, hey, I didn't want Daniel Jones for any team. So.
I'd trade for Dwayne Haskins over keeping Carr at this point.
Wow.
Swing me a deal for old Dwayne. That's what I'd do. All right, so let's go.
By the way, Preston Brown went to the Raiders randomly. Whenever he got cut, I'm like, I'd love to see him on the Raiders, and yes, it happened. He's not done anything. He's
No.
like 3 tackles last week, but
Yeah, he'll be cut probably next week. I have the Cowboys and Bears on here. I'm like, what?
why
Now-
did you waste your time with that?
Now I'm looking at it and I'm like, come on, man. Like, really? You knew you were recording it this time tonight. So, I have Anthony Miller with an up arrow, and a Monty Montgomery scoring a TD. Some other notes. Moving on. Panthers versus Falcons. Rivera fired. We touched on that. Do we see Greer in the coming weeks? We don't know. But who do we like in the Panthers and Falcons game? Starts and sits.
I mean, obviously start studs. We've talked about DJ. We talked about Ridley. I think both of them are the wide receiver plays for this week. Both of them have kind of questionable defense against the pass, but Atlanta's looked all right the last few weeks.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, if Julio plays this week, you play him. I mean,
Hooper's back.
Hooper's, yeah. So,
Hang him with Mr. Hooper.
I actually think that if I'm going to avoid one of the receivers on Atlanta, it's going to be Julio this week.
I avoid Gage if he plays.
Well, if those,
Well, I mean, if
both those
everybody's-
guys play,
yeah.
you definitely avoid Gage.
Well, I avoid Ridley as well. I think he's due for a down game. He strung together 3 really good games. Last 3 games, 24 catches for 319 and 2.
Coinciding with Austin Hooper being out.
Correct. and I like Ridley. I'm not saying it'll definitely happen, but I don't love him this week.
I just feel like this was the time for them to build up some of that chemistry that they needed. So
I like Devontae Freeman this week. I mean, Panthers
gross.
Trash run D.
Yeah, but it's not defenses stopping Devontae Freeman. It's
Yeah,
Devontae Freeman
I
stopping
get it,
Devontae
but I
Freeman.
mean, I don't know. The Carolina's defense is garbage. He's been involved a little bit in the past game. I think he's serviceable.
I will tell you, I'm not. We always talk about DraftKings now. I'm not going to be paying up for CMC this week.
I am. I am. I think, real quick, I think.
There's only one time he's not met, as you said last week. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I think last week was the second time all year.
I think there's enough sneaky buys this week to where you can.
There's definitely some value out
Yeah,
there.
you can grab CMC and you could grab Darwin Thompson for $4,000 right now and pair him up with him because Darwin has big potential. Darrell Williams on IR, Damian Williams probably not playing. Darwin's going to get double-digit carries, and there's some other
He's
guys
going
like
against
that.
the Patriots though, so I'm not too
Yeah, I
thrilled
wouldn't
about
do
the
it.
Thompson play.
I'm okay
I mean,
with
the
it.
price wise, I am, but I think you can pay down. I mean, we're going to get
guys,
the other
it's like
guys.
4,900.
Well,
Geis
Darwin
is
Thompson's going
4,900.
to catch passes too.
Yeah, but I mean, like you said, Geis is 49, and then you got to look at receivers. You got Paris Campbell coming back. He's at 3,200. He's on bare minimum price. You know, lock him in.
He's in my lineup.
Yeah, so I mean, there's ways to get to McCaffrey, and I think he gets back to. He's not going to have another down week.
No, that's the reason I went for him this week. And
I mean,
grab those
he
Chiefs.
put up 33 DraftKings points against the Falcons 3 weeks ago. So,
Yep.
and that's, I mean, obviously a 10-3 price tag, you're wanting that 30-point game from him or more.
You have to have
yeah,
it.
you had to pay it off the price. Yeah, you do.
well, and this is their stay alive game. So what are they going to do in their stay alive game? Like we got to win this one or we're done. What are they going to do? They're going to get the ball in McCaffrey's hands.
But the disappointment to me is, like, they played the Redskins last week.
Yeah, I
That
mean the
was
match. Yeah,
horrible.
I mean it's just
And the Falcons
Darius Geis.
are better than the Redskins. I mean, their rush defense, their pass defense, everything is better. Well, I guess their pass defense isn't better than the Redskins, but their rush defense is a lot better. And CMC, he kind of laid an egg.
he did, but I think in that game against the Falcons 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think he had 11 catches against them.
He did.
So I mean, he can beat you in so many ways.
But it's like he plays down against bad teams because
Seems that way.
his other egg was the Buccaneers.
Who have like the number 1 rated run defense?
Number
in
two,
the,
number
yeah,
two
number
to.
2.
But
New
still, the
England.
passing work. They have the number 32 overall passing defense.
Right, but just overall in general, I think in points allowed to the running back, I think
They're like 0.3 behind the Patriots.
yeah.
0.3 total points,
crazy.
which is
This is-
incredible for as bad as the team is.
Yeah, it's just the type of defense they run. I mean, they funnel the defense to stop the run. So
And then just get
Beat
Lit
eaten
up
by
alive
the
in
pass.
the air.
Yeah.
except for when everybody played Foles and Shark last week, and
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, the
Foles
wi-
gets benched.
the wind took care of them. This is the weather last week.
coach over there is literally like, I don't give a damn how many yards Julio Jones has. I want you to stop that run. Don't give a damn how many touchdown passes they throw. Stop the run.
It's working.
Yeah. Yes,
No,
sir,
no, it's-
coach.
No, it's not.
Yes, sir,
It's-
coach.
It's not working. They
not working.
got like four wins. They're bad.
Not good. So I like McCaffrey and DFS. I got that in there. I like DJ and Samuel in this game. They've been Samuel I don't love,
I was gonna say I'm not in love with Samuel in this game.
but I'm okay with him. I mean, he has his floor is like 10 points.
Listen, I've got Samuel in 2 playoff leagues, so he's going to lay an egg. Like there's no doubt about it. I've got him playing in 2 first rounds, so yeah, I'm screwed.
I don't mind him.
I think Matt Ryan balls out though. I think he has a ridiculous game this week.
See, I don't know. He's actually my DraftKings sit for this game. But that's just because of price. I mean, if I'm paying $6,700, I'm probably going to go to Rodgers or Cousins,
Lamar.
or I'm going to go higher to Lamar. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, he's the same price as Cousins. I guess it's a little bit better matchup against Detroit, but
And I think Kyle Allen struggles.
I got a game break for you guys.
Game break.
Riley Ridley caught a pass tonight.
oh, There it is.
Riley Ridley.
Dude, I love that kid.
You probably have like 3 or 4 shares, don't you?
Oh, I do
I think
too.
I've got 1 or 2.
He's a deep sleeper for the next 2 years for me.
He'll probably remain asleep for the next 2 years.
He probably will, but that's okay.
I mean, as good as Allen Robinson's looked, and the emergence of Anthony Miller. I mean, yeah.
You guys will move to the next game.
Yes.
I
move
got
on.
Colts and Bucks. We're going to be off somewhere here, but I think Colts Bucks were same page still.
Nope.
Oh, I've still got him.
All right, so Colts Bucks. Hucks touched on Paris Campbell.
Paris Campbell.
I-
Marlon Mack's back this week.
Yeah, is he already?
Yep.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, but whether it's Mack, Jonathan Williams, that Buccaneers defense,
No, I'm just saying Mac. Yeah, you're right.
not playing him. I mean, I don't care. I know Max
it helps
performed
the
well.
team.
Yeah,
Helps the team
Yeah.
overall.
I like Pascal and Paris Campbell both this week,
Me too. I
and,
really
and Doyle.
Paris Campbell
Love Doyle
rest of the
this week.
season could be really nice, but I wouldn't
Yeah.
start him until he shows that he's going to be.
Yeah,
But
no, and yeah,
DFS, yes.
But I was gonna say, I feel like it's worth the gamble.
yeah,
DFS,
and DFS
absolutely.
for sure. I think he's probably the highest owned player this
Yeah,
week,
but
just
me,
because of the price.
I've got a playoff game this week.
But in playoffs, yeah, he's definitely risky.
I talked about Russell Gage being my number 3. I could promote Paris Campbell off the taxi squad, but I'm just not. I'm not sure yet. I'm half afraid to. Because
I'd almost pull that trigger.
Gage is questionable.
if
He is
he's
questionable.
out, I'm doing
Well,
it.
yeah,
You have
obviously
to,
But I have to. I have no one to drop. Like I'm
loaded.
except for Russell Gage.
loaded.
After drop Russell Gage for Paris Campbell.
I'm not dropping him. He's looked too decent. He's looked too solid. Probably be Tim Patrick. My love for Tim Patrick's going to be over.
you do have
sadly.
droppable players.
Yeah.
then.
But, I mean, you're talking to me though. I'm like, oh God, I love Tim Patrick. God, I love Tim Patrick, and I still do.
Okay, I'm not saying don't love Tim Patrick.
You know who is lucky? I can't believe they're not on my team, but Miami just picked up a receiver that I love. It's Mac Hollins.
Oh, they pick him up? I
Yeah.
didn't see that.
Detroit put in a waiver claim for him. He was a hot prospect.
Mac Hollins has potential. He just injuries.
Injuries, and he never really got a true shot.
No,
in
I
Philly.
don't think he did.
I mean, he
I don't
filled
think-
in with injuries and stuff, but I mean,
Well, here's something to think about too. It's Philly.
yeah.
They don't have a go-to wide receiver
Now
or
it's
a
Miami.
consistent receiver. Dude, Fitzpatrick will throw it to him. He won't be afraid at all.
Out there to anybody.
Absolutely.
Ball boy, guy holding the first down marker.
I keep my eyes open the whole time we're doing the show because football could come in our way any moment. He'll
And-
throw
and-
it. He'll throw it to F and anybody.
and from Miami, it could get here. I mean, the dude's got an arm.
Absolutely, he's got the beard of Zeus, and he can sling it. So
anybody in Tampa Bay side we like? I mean
obviously-
the obvious receivers.
yeah, you play both those receivers. Rojo, it's
sitting
hands
Rojo.
off. He's in the doghouse.
He
Bruce
got
Arians done lost his damn mind.
he got benched last week.
He did. He's in the
Yeah, but
doghouse.
he
Barber
kept-
came in and scored 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
He kept the starting job though.
What about OJ Howard? OJ Howard worth a role?
I mean, I
Depends on
guess
what you got.
yeah, it depends on what you got, but I mean that guy's been more way down than up this year. I mean, he had 5 catches last week.
It don't matter if it's that or a different one.
So yeah, I think Howard's playable, but I mean, I would imagine at this point in the season you have better options than OJ Howard. You guys good now?
We're good.
Good.
Getting a beer and Barker's being all picky. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. He
like
hated to be like
a
this.
4-year-old child over here.
What'd you call
Oh,
that?
did I have one
Is
of-
it a mead?
I don't know what it was. It said wowsy or something.
Well, it was one of those like berry beers, and you called it something like, is it like a
Oh,
mead
yeah,
beer?
they're
Yeah. I just don't like it. I don't like.
I didn't
fruity.
realize I still had one of those in there. I'd have been drinking it.
Well, you don't. So
had past tense.
Had.
right. But yeah, you know what? I may put Paris Campbell in for this playoff game. It upside.
I would. I mean, it's a must-win game for Indy. I mean, they're fighting for that division with Houston and Tennessee.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm gonna do it.
I'll tell
do
you,
it.
Got to gamble. You
I
got to
do,
gamble.
I do love Brissett in this
Well,
game.
The only thing with that is if Julio sits again, which he could. I mean, I do like Gage as long as he plays, obviously. But I mean, there's a chance Julio could sit again. So I mean, then Gage is in play again. So
Right. But if I want to go ahead and
and
promote
he's been
Paris from
targeted
the taxi,
what, like 7-9 times last couple weeks.
He's
it's
got
been good.
got the looks, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And performed. He's not been
Yeah, I
holy
mean,
hell,
he's-
obviously, but he's been serviceable. Above
Yeah, I mean-
serviceable,
But
really. He's
again,
been pretty good.
But again, Hooper's
Hooper-
back.
yeah,
Like,
Hooper's
it could
back.
change a
Yeah.
lot.
True.
Yeah, I'd roll out Paris Campbell.
I want to apologize for that. I don't have anyone to drop. I still have Mark Walton on my team.
There you go.
So
Easy.
piece of cake there.
I don't know why you still have Mark Walton on your team, but
I don't have any money to add players, so I've had no reason to drop players.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
There you go.
one of those things. So Colts, Bucks. Anyone else on the Bucks? Rojo's in the doghouse. Peyton Barber's just Peyton Barber. I mean, we basically got 2 receivers, and Jameis is streamable.
Yeah, Jameis is streamable.
I think Brissett gets back on track this week. I mean,
Yeah, I
his,
mean,
his
I-
first few games were like 38 plus points.
I mean, I can't not like Brissett if I like Doyle, Pascal, and Paris Campbell. I mean, Brissett would have to have a good game if them guys are going to perform. So,
And I think everyone's all in on Doyle.
yeah.
Doyle rules.
Yeah. Yeah, Doyle rules. There we go.
Doyle rules. All right. So tell me what game you guys got on next. I'll skip this because I know you don't have Cardinals Steelers.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Just pick a game.
Okay, Cardinals Steelers. I want to say Vance McDonald is a great play against the Cardinals that have given up the most touchdowns, receptions, and I think yards
I mean,
to the tight end.
look what Tyler Higbee did against them last week. I mean,
Absolutely, but Vance McDonald
blew him up.
I can't recommend it still because Vance McDonald hasn't done jack squat, and it's that duck guy at quarterback again. And I know he saved the day last week, but he's not going to be there.
Coming into the season, he's the 4th string quarterback.
Yeah, he's not going to be the savior for Pittsburgh. He had a good game last week. Feel good for the kid. He's not going. There's not going to be duck magic this week.
I mean, they're looking like they're going to go to the playoffs possibly.
Well, they'll probably win, but I don't think that guy's going to have a big game.
I don't know. I mean, it's almost been I'd have to look at every week, but it's almost been every week the tight end has done well.
In Pittsburgh?
No, against the Cardinals.
Well, yeah, they have.
They're
but,
the number, like the worst, and it's
They're the worst
by like
against tight
5
end.
points.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. So, I mean,
but it's Vance McDonald is what I'm saying. Like, if you go through and look at
he's had games where he's looked. I mean, maybe not necessarily this year.
No.
Last year, I mean, he killed a guy. So
he's had no fantasy relevant games. One. His only game that he scored a touchdown in, he happened to score 2 that week. His best week since that, I think, is like 3 for 44.
Okay.
One game you could start this guy.
If you have Vance McDonald, O.J. Howard, who we just talked about, who are you playing?
O.J. Howard.
I'm going McDonald.
man, that's I'm probably good McDonald too. But
I mean,
a lot of that
both
has
of them's
to.
good matchups, but O.J. Howard's literally had like 2 games this year of doing anything.
O.J. Howard doesn't have a great matchup. I mean, the linebackers can
Yeah.
cover, and they've got some safeties that can cover in Indy. So I don't
Okay.
think it's a great matchup.
So the Seahawks aren't great against the tight end. He did have 7 receptions that game, but it was for 38 yards. Oh, that was his 2 touchdown game. That was against
7 receptions for 38 yards. My God.
and 2 touchdowns.
Makes up
So
for
he
it.
was a red zone target. But Dolphins, 1 catch, 19 yards.
Stud.
Dolphins.
Stud.
The Rams, 3 for 11. Browns, 3 for 33. Bengals, 1 for 1. Against the Bengals.
Stud.
1 reception for 1 yard. I'm not playing this freaking joker.
I will
don't
say
care who he's. I don't care if he's playing friggin' Appalachian State. I'm not playing Vance McDonald.
I'll tell you who I will play on that team. James Washington.
Oh yeah, the guys look like what 4 or 5 weeks in a row now.
4 out of 5 weeks breaking 10 points.
Yeah, I mean he scored what, at least
he
3 touchdowns.
scored 3
Yeah.
touchdowns that time frame, broke 90 yards 3 times.
I'm with you. I'm
Yeah.
playing him too.
Me too.
He's ascending.
Now, is he a must own next year in Dynasty?
Well, yeah, he's a must own now in Dynasty.
Right now, yes, but I'm saying, are you targeting him the way you would of a Chris Godwin in the offseason?
No. No. And it depends
No,
on how he ends
think
the season.
about Chris, how he ended last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, which he obviously his numbers, Chris Godwin at this point last year versus James Washington, not even close. I mean, Godwin was blowing him out of the water. But is he your number? Like, think about an emerging guy. Is he your number one kind of emerging target this year?
No.
Who is?
I'm thinking, but to me, it's not James Washington. And just quick reasoning is that James Conner's been out. The run game's not that great. So
But that helps.
We don't know who the quarterback's going to be. We knew Jameis was going to be slinging the ball over the field. We knew Chris Godwin was going to get a lot of those. We don't know that that's going to happen in Pittsburgh next year.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on with Pittsburgh next year. I mean, Roethlisberger should
Risky.
be back.
I think Roethlisberger's back, and it seems like every year they have two studs. Now, I do like Deontay Johnson.
Me too.
Yeah, he's
but
looked
last
good.
thing about Washington, like if he ends the season a little bit on a down note, I'm excited to buy him. But I don't. If he ends really well, price is going to be too high for me to take the risk. But
Okay.
Deontay Johnson, see, he's a good buy to me,
But
especially now.
On the pace he's at right now, so very disappointing to begin the season. But he's just under 600 yards. He could, in theory, most likely get right around 1,000 yards by the end of
could.
the season.
Could, yeah.
He hasn't.
I mean,
really
let's
been,
say it's
James Washington's
850.
hurting him.
Yeah.
850, and whenever you go looking at it, here's my thought on it. He didn't do anything at the beginning of the season, and whenever you look at his total body of work, it's not impressive. But if you look at, he really started to come on in that second half. So from week 9 on, he's been a starter.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
been very startable, at least as a number 3 receiver.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So-
Agree.
I don't really. I mean, Benny Snell, like him at all? He looked pretty good last week.
Is Connor out this week, though?
I think I saw doubtful. So yeah.
Man, you just got to wonder what Snell brings to you in the passing game. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like I think the game would be a little bit more too high scoring for Snell to be too relevant, if that makes sense.
I mean, if they're playing for the lead, playing with the lead, which we think, I don't know. I mean,
I'm not sure they're playing
yeah,
with
that's
the
what I
lead,
say. I don't know if
though,
they're playing with the lead. So
because
Yeah, it's going to be a weird game.
I mean, Arizona can put up 4 touchdowns. I mean, they can score.
could.
They can score, and
Pittsburgh's defense has been playing pretty well, though.
and the Steelers' offense, I mean, outside of James Washington, the couple sightings of Deontay Johnson, Snell's looked okay, but he's not been great.
right.
I just wonder if the Cardinals are up 2 touchdowns at the half.
And they could be.
Could be.
It's in Arizona. They could be.
I did write down on this game, there is no one I love.
Yeah, I mean, nobody.
no one I love.
Nobody really stands out. I don't really like Kirk this week or Fitz or.
Yeah,
But Kirk's going to get targeted like
he will, but
like crazy.
I'm just the trust level right now with those teams, fantasy wise. I don't have any trust in any of them. Not even Kyler. Like I love Kyler long term, but I don't trust Kyler right
Kirk's season low is 5 targets, then 7, then 8. I mean,
now. But he's up and down.
10, 11, 12. I mean,
Yeah.
few 12.
I mean, I guess I'd be okay playing him as my third receiver
yeah.
this week.
Would you rather have Kirk or James Washington?
James Washington, because he scored 3 out of the last 4 weeks. I think Christian Kirk doesn't really get in the end
So,
zone.
Christian Kirk.
He has, but he doesn't.
3 out of the last 5 weeks he's played.
That's
he
a
scored.
good question. I don't know.
Can we agree that Kirk probably has a higher upside?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he could catch 11 balls for 97 yards. And
I
a
would go
touch, yeah.
Kirk because of the targets.
I think that James Washington has a better floor, though.
I like James against
I don't
the
know.
Cardinals' pass defense more than I like Kirk against Minka and company on Pittsburgh's side.
I'll buy that. I'm just
So
playing devil's advocate here.
Me too,
I
thinking
think
it
I'm
out.
going James Washington on this one myself.
James Washington.
But yeah, I do. The targets are like, oh God, if he snags like 7 of the 12 he's going to get,
Yeah,
he's got value right there
Right.
because it's going to be for at least 50 yards. So there's 12 points, and if he gets in the end zone,
Right.
you're 19.
yeah, you're pushing 20-point game if just in that aspect of it.
Let's quickly hit on David Johnson. He's
What do you want to talk about?
vanished.
How he probably won't play in a starting role on any team next year, or
Oh, I think he could, but
where?
who knows?
Like there's
Yeah, I
not.
mean, who knows? I mean,
Jets, Bucks, there's teams, but I mean, I'm not saying that I would trust him.
I would
I'm just
rather have
saying
Ronald Jones. I'd rather have Peyton Barber. I'd rather have Le'Veon Bell. I'd rather have freaking Bilal Powell.
I can't.
Than David
That's-
Johnson right now.
That's wild. He might just need time to heal up from his Nicky Knack injuries.
That is the story of his life, though.
Right, but-
Constant Nicky Knack injuries.
Right, but if you get him on the cheap and he's productive when he plays, he's still worth having.
But he's not productive when he plays.
Not right now. I'm not saying. Listen, I was pounding the table a few weeks ago that it's time to trade him because he's declining. I'm not saying he's going to bounce back. I'm saying he could still be decent next year when healthy.
Ever since the Falcons game, his high point is 4.4 points.
Yes, he's been
And
bad.
that's week 6.
He's been
Now,
bad.
He missed
I'm not saying
2,
he's
but
not. He's been terrible.
Yeah, I mean,
But
he has.
an off season of rest, a workout regime, a second chance with another team.
How many
a la
off seasons of
Adrian,
rest does he need?
a la Adrian Peterson. How many times have we thought Adrian Peterson was just done? It could happen. David Johnson's talented.
Yeah,
enough.
I think he's still got a little bit left in him.
I'm not saying it's going to. I'm just talking it out. And he's terrible this year. Don't mess with him.
Horrid. 5 total touchdowns.
Don't mess with him, but keep an eye on him next year.
507 yards on the season.
He's been hurt, and then
2
he's
games.
also been
2 games.
sharing. Lately, obviously, he has been.
More than Sharon. I think he
Yeah,
two
I mean,
carries last
yeah,
game.
say he didn't even do nothing.
It was bad.
But the games he's done well in, Lions, trash run defense. Panthers, trash run defense. Bengals, trash overall defense. And the Falcons, he basically got it done in the air there, 6 for 68. Why? Because they have a terrible pass defense.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the part of the game he could still add. I think is in the pass game.
I'm going to give you guys the stat line real quick. You tell me who it is. 9 carries, 64 yards, and a touchdown. 9
Montgomery.
carries.
Are we talking about the game tonight?
Yep. 9 carries. Bears. 9 carries, 64 yards, and a
Tariq
touch.
Cohen.
Montgomery.
Mitchell Trubisky. Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
wow.
He just 23-yard touchdown run just now. Mitchell
What's
Trubisky.
the score now?
31-14. Go Cowboys.
Oh wow.
I'll tell you something else I saw yesterday, I think it was. Trubisky is outperforming Tom Brady on the season.
Most quarterbacks are.
I know, but look at what the Patriots are doing.
Yeah.
Like, it's incredible. This team,
They're faltering at the moment.
but this team is almost back with when Peyton Manning was at the end, and that defense just carried him to a championship. That's what the Patriots are looking like right now with Tom Brady. It's like, you're the bad spot on our team, man.
Yeah, the defense.
Like, you're the
is carrying him.
disappointment.
He's the Trent Dilfer on the championship Ravens team right now. Ravens defense
Basically.
won him that. Dilfer was just okay enough, and that's kind of Brady at the moment. And I love it. I'm so ready for Tom Brady to get the heck out of the league.
That SOB will probably win another Super Bowl this year.
And I don't even hate him like I used to. I just want him out of the league.
It's to the
Done
point
with
now
it.
to where it's like, I'm done hating him. I do respect him,
I do.
but it's just, please end your career before you own all the passing records, which would only last for a year before Breeze took them.
Breeze,
But
yeah.
I have to give him props for when they played the Ravens, what he said when he approached Lamar Jackson after the game. Like, he told him he was a big fan, loves what he's doing in the league. Well, yeah, he's obviously a pretty decent guy. He just looks like a smug asshole with his helmet off on the field.
Nothing makes me happier than seeing Tom Brady with his hands folded and his head down.
Oh, me too, because I hate the Patriots.
Whenever they're getting whooped on, and he's just like, well, nothing works. Saw somebody the other day posted that Devontae Parker is the best wide receiver in the AFC East.
That could be it. That's accurate.
I still think
John
Edelman,
Brown is probably to be. No, Julian Edelman's the best wide receiver.
probably
in the AFC.
Edelman,
Edelman.
Brown,
Edelman, Brown, Parker.
Parker, but he's
I'd probably put Parker over Brown, to be honest with you.
it's close.
Brown's been pretty consistent all
Brown's
year.
been
That's
good.
The, that's the only reason.
I've been happy with him, but
Brown's been good, like in spurts, like
Yeah.
real good in spurts, like
Parker
140 yards,
Parker
2
has
touchdowns. Yeah,
Spurts. Speaking of which, Dolphins Jets next game on the docket. Parker, we like him. I think everyone likes him. It's time to accept that he's pretty good with Fitzpatrick. Gesicki's been good.
I like Gesicki. I love Gesicki. He's actually my favorite play in this game.
That touchdown reception last week was magical. And
I love how he emerged no sooner than you said time to give up on him. He's done.
Oh, man, I thought it was.
Like, you're like, he just give up, sell him. You
Yeah.
can't get anything out of him, but you might as well sell him anyway. I'm like,
Well, for 2 years, he looked like, a year of John Ross 2 years in a row. Just like, oh, God.
I mean, it took him how many weeks this year to even get going?
Got 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. But looks solid.
This is only second year in the league, so
Yeah, it is. It's just a year and a half of nothing is hard to overlook.
No,
That's when
I'm
you
with
start
you.
thinking bust. But yeah, he's a piece now.
Oh, yeah.
He's a piece of that
until he wants
rebuild.
out.
Right. Even though he hasn't put up a lot of stats, I want to mention Patrick Laird. If you watch the replay of that game,
I like how the kid runs.
Laird runs good. He runs hard. He's shifty. He can make people miss. I'm impressed with him.
Well, they don't have much of anything else.
No, I get that. I'm just saying, like, I read that the coach, Flores, is doing a great job with next to no talent. And I agree that he's doing a great job because Dolphins shouldn't have 3 wins under their belt. But there's also more talent on that team than we thought.
My favorite stat right now, Ryan Fitzpatrick is the leading active rusher on that roster with 33
my
carries for
God.
121 yards.
That's hilarious.
Now,
you
here's
think they'll draft a running back?
God, I'd hope so.
Yeah.
Me too. And Kalen Balazs is their guy for 2020.
Here's the incredible part. Fitzpatrick only
David
has
Johnson.
he has 33,
I'm fine with that.
33 rushing attempts. Balaj had 74.
He's
He only had 134 yards,
He's
135 yards.
terrible.
Wow.
He's averaging like 1.9 yards a carry. It's terrible. So,
I thought he's the best running back on the team going in, but nobody did anything down there. I mean, Kenyon Drake didn't do anything.
now I do think Miami wins this game again. Like I know the Jets had this blowout of Oakland, but that was an anomaly. But I think Miami wins. They're playing themselves out of the top quarterback race.
Yeah, I mean,
Playing themselves out of
I think Cincinnati's got that
Burrow.
locked up right now.
Yeah,
I
they
think
still
so,
got a
too.
2-game lead.
But they could fall out of Tua territory if they don't be careful, even though they're predicting Tua as like a mid-rounder now.
I was going to
But-
say there's some talent coming out in this year's draft.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be concerned if I was picking 10th.
No, Miami
to
has
get it.
3 first-rounders. They can grab a quarterback
Yeah.
somewhere. But anyone else? Do we like
Yeah,
anyone on the Jets?
I like Ryan Griffin. I like
Griffin. I like Griffin.
I like Bell this
Crowder.
week. I don't like Bell on DraftKings,
yeah.
but
But
I
I like
think he's gonna have an
Crowder.
alright game.
Crowder and Griffin.
I love Crowder.
I like Darnold. I like Darnold this week. I've liked Darnold the last
I think Crowder
3 or 4 weeks.
last time Crowder played Miami, I want to say it was 140 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Question about Griffin is, should I let him
Yeah.
in the back door?
8 receptions and a touchdown last time he played Miami.
It has. I think I said this about the Jets Bengals last week with shootout potential, and you saw what a dud that game was. But I think this game has shootout potential.
It does.
I mean, 2 terrible defenses, absolutely.
Yeah.
Same thing was said about the Jets Bengals last week.
It is.
Absolutely.
22-6 ball game.
It is, but it still had that potential.
Yeah, it had the potential.
If the Jets could have got their shit together, it might have been.
Listen.
But Dalton didn't have to do more than just be the normal Red Rocket last week.
If Andy Dalton can expose the Jets, Ryan Fitzpatrick can definitely do better.
Absolutely. But he could also throw 4 picks.
That's highly likely, actually.
That's what you call Fitz magic. So
Now you see him, now you don't.
now you see him, now you don't.
The only thing I know you guys said you like Gesicki is Jamal Adams. I know he was banged up last week. If he's out, then I like Gesicki, but if he's in, I don't like him. Jamal Adams is
I'm on board with that.
I think they're the number one top. I don't not number one, but Adams covering tight ends this year has been lights out.
Lights out.
Yeah, but I mean, he had Minka covering him. Yeah, against the Browns, he still got in the end zone. I mean, he doesn't have to catch 6 balls for 100 yards to be relevant. He's a big guy. He's 6'6".
Minka was covering who against the Browns?
Yeah,
Make it, damn it. Who's the safety for the Browns now? Never mind. I thought for some reason
Demetrius Harris?
no.
Demarius Randall.
Yes.
I don't know.
Demetrius Randall. I knew it was a or something.
Anyhow, the Browns had been playing better, but X that. Damn
It's
it,
okay.
Minka
It's okay.
Fitzpatrick on the Steelers is just ruining my world. And
I honest to God.
and who?
They're-
It was
they're-
Peppers. It was my thought. I was thinking Peppers on him, but Peppers is on the freaking Giants now. Jesus Christ!
you've lost me
Steelers
completely.
or safeties in this league have moved around too much for me to keep up with right now.
I think a few of them have only switched to their second team. I'm not sure what's going on with that.
No, I'm just it's killing me. You see teams that look like they got good safeties and throws me off. Never mind.
I think Minka's like the biggest reason that the Steelers are still in the playoff hunt.
Yeah, the defense.
Well, he's
looked
looked like
good.
a star since he went
He has
there.
changed the whole defense. Like, he's done enough to free up other people. Ugh, don't want to get back on it, but Minka looks good. Niners and Saints. Let me say real quick, I love in DFS and in Dynasty Jimmy G this week. Absolutely love him. The Saints, go look. They have given up big games to Jared Goff, Matt Ryan, of course. The Saints do not have a vaunted pass D.
They were good, I think, for the first 8 games, and I want to say
A
they dropped
handful of the
all the
first
way
8.
to like 25th in the league in pass defense.
Yeah.
They've got exposed.
Yeah, I
a little
agree.
bit.
I like Garoppolo. I think.
Well, they're behind the Seahawks, too. It's time to turn on the Jets.
Yeah.
Garoppolo, Debo. I think we can agree on both of those.
Agree.
I'm going to pass on the running backs for San Fran because I have no idea who's going to do anything.
I wish we did, though, because if Mostert, if they just say
it
that
seems like
Mostert's
it's
our
going to be
guy,
Mostert, but I mean, who knows? Like you said,
he looks good every time they give him a
Could be
chance.
freaking Tevin Coleman.
It could be.
Matt Breda could be back this week. Who knows?
Jesus,
Jeffrey Wilson,
infuriating.
Garrison Hurst. We did this
Yeah,
a
we
few
did
weeks
this.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, one of them's going to blow up. They are, and I just don't know which one's going to be.
Glenn Coffey,
Yeah.
Coffee. He's in the military.
preacher,
I thought he was in the military. I thought he left to go to the military.
preacher,
Yeah. One or the other. Maybe he's a preacher in the military.
preacher.
Possibly.
Maybe.
I remember seeing a picture of him in uniform.
Preacher with a machine gun or whatever it's called.
Machine
Yeah.
Gun Preacher.
Machine
Is
Gun
that-
Preacher.
Was that a movie?
Something. It's something.
Have you guys
I think it's a TV show on like
No.
FX.
Have you ever seen Preacher on it's on AMC? It is one messed up show.
I like
Like,
messed up.
It's without going into a lot of details because I haven't watched it, but I've kind of read synopsis on it. I've watched like 2 episodes. It's like they're protecting the bloodline of Christ, but it's inbreeding over 2,000 years. Oh, it's messed up.
Ugh.
It's messed up, and like at some point, you know, the preacher, God, and Satan are all just with Jesus just chilling in a room talking. Like, okay.
What?
It is not a religious show. I just want to clarify that. It is raunchy and violent. I mean, it's a pretty good show, to be honest with you.
Sounds cool.
Yeah.
Does one of those guys in the show end up being the guy that walks around Jackson with a camera with no tape in it?
No.
Anybody know who I'm talking about?
Yes.
That family that pulled the wagon all over the place?
Yeah.
Those people, I mean, that's 2,000 years of inbreeding, I think.
That's horrible. I think the parents are dead.
Wow.
Well, I'm not
You're a
trying
terrible
to.
person.
Jesus. My God.
I'm sorry. I know a police officer, and I don't know whether this was the truth. I delivered pizza to this house like years ago, and they literally had the house looked fine. You open up the door and it's dirt. Like
Yeah.
the floor had been removed, rotted out or whatever. The whole floor was completely dirt. And whenever they passed away, one of the police officers went in, you know, obviously. He goes, you know, we're looking through things, you know, just trying to help sort things out. So they have a check or a savings account that had $80,000 in it,
Wow.
according to their books. Now, whether they actually did or not,
They probably did.
they were also not there. They were crazy.
And people get used to living like that and think it's okay.
Yeah, but I'll never.
I mean, if I was the one that walked in that house, I'd metal detector, son. Oh, found a quarter. Dig it out with a spoon. Oh, found a dime.
It was stunk. Good Lord, about made you sick.
I'd imagine.
But they ordered pizza every week. You're like, you live with a dirt floor and you're ordering pizza. All right.
You can do that when you got 80 grand in the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
Pizza every night.
Did they
You could
tip
also-
well?
You could no, God no.
Did they what?
Did they tip well?
You could also put a floor in your house if you have 80 grand in the bank. Just throwing that out there.
They tipped okay. Like, hold on, let me grab a spoon. Oh, here's a quarter, guy. Here's a quarter for you. Saints. Do we like anybody? Do we love anybody on the Saints this week?
I mean, your studs.
Yeah, you got to play them. I mean, but I don't think there's any
I
like
don't
diamond in
love
the rough.
any of them, but
Yeah, I don't
Breeze
love
at
either.
home is always in play. But I don't know. I mean, it's just the matchup isn't. I mean, I guess the only thing they got
not
really
ideal.
going for them is they're at home.
Right.
Kamara's got to be cheap on DraftKings right now, though.
Kamara's never cheap.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but for
no.
for what he is, the biggest issue I have with him is, man, I mean, Latavius Murray's getting run.
Yeah.
They're giving him the ball as they should. He's performing well, so I mean that kind of kills his value. Michael Thomas, he's matchup proof. I mean,
He is
he's
matchup
gonna
proof, but
do what he does.
he's still the highest priced on DraftKings this week, I'm probably staying away.
I will say, against a team like the Niners, this is probably the week that the Saints need to give Kamara that extra run.
Yeah.
They're 10-2. I mean, this is basically a home field advantage game.
One thing
Oh
that
yeah, they got to keep pace with the Seahawks and the Niners. So I mean,
you probably got to you probably should use Kamara as much as possible.
the one thing about the Niners, it seems they struggle with a guy who can catch a ball out of the backfield. You know, Kenyon Drake a few weeks ago, like that's a little bit of a weakness for him. And they're not incredible against the run. They keep people out of the end zone, but they've allowed over 1,000 yards on the ground this year. You know, so it's not like they're keeping, running backs to 50 yards. So they've got a little bit exposed over the last few weeks. So,
yeah, I don't mind Kamara this week.
and Lamar ran for over 100 on him, and you knew Lamar was going to run.
Yeah,
So, I mean, you can get yards on the ground. I don't know if Kamara pays off.
what is he on DraftKings?
I don't have
I
it.
didn't even look.
Can we
My
say that
guess,
Kamara's been a little bit disappointing?
7,800.
Yes, he's been incredibly
82, somewhere
disappointing.
around there.
Yet he's still running back 8 as far as points per game goes, but that's still disappointing.
But you don't get in the end zone.
Well, you don't got those big blow-up games. It's like 17 points, 14, 15, 20.
He hasn't had the McCaffrey-like games.
No, he's had one game of 37 points in our format.
He's 7,000 this week.
Oh,
That's
I love it.
okay.
I
like it
love
more.
that.
I
Yeah, I like
actually
it.
like that more than the McCaffrey.
I thought he was higher than that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I thought he was high sevens.
Benny Snell's all the way up to 6,100.
Yeah.
That's hateful.
Oh,
That is hateful.
goodness. Sorry.
Lions, Vikings. Jesse James, I like as a cheap DFS play. Did you have anybody else in the last game, Hux?
No.
Okay. Jesse James, I like him as a cheap DFS. If you're trying to stack your lineup and need to just blow, God, I can't remember. He was like 2,000 maybe, Jesse James. I mean, that
Well, minimum's 25, so probably 25.
probably 25. So, I mean, that's a way to get a nice stack going, just to use Jesse James to free up some money. I mean,
I like Irv Smith this week, too.
How much is Irv?
He's got to be fairly cheap. He's not put up a ton of yardages, but he seems to be getting in the end zone fairly consistently.
Yeah, and he's obviously transitioned into that lead tight end role.
Yeah, he's taking over the snap count.
With obviously Thielen's been out also, so they need somebody
Thielen
else.
might play
He could
this
play
week.
this week, so I like Cousins. Dalvin said he's going to be good to go. If Dalvin's healthy, full go, then I'd love Dalvin this week.
Irv Smith is only 3,300 this week.
You
not
beat
bad.
me to it. How much was James, did you see? 2,500. Thanks, Hux. So, I mean, that's to get a guy at the bottom of the barrel that could put up 5 for 50 while stacking
Could.
your lineup.
I mean,
It's probably more than likely like 3 for 33. I know I'm just using the same number over and over, 333, 550. But to me, you can set a pretty good lineup if you stick a guy like Jesse James in there at 2,500 this week.
what about Blau? David Blau.
Blau. I just can't see him having
Not
two good
against
weeks
his
in a row.
defense.
Can't see it. Like it was a feel good story last week, but I can't see it.
Also, entirely punting on Bo Scarborough this week. Guy offers
Absolutely.
nothing in the pass game. The Vikings have a really good run defense, like the true run defense, not just against the running back position. If maybe McKissick, I mean, if there's any value there, but I just think the whole running back situation in the Lions gets shut down this week.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you guys see that Carry On was back practicing? I don't know
I
when
thought he was on IR.
He is on IR, but he's
Designated to
he-
return.
Yeah, he's
No reason to do that.
no reason to come back at this point, but he took part in some kind of practice drills this week.
I don't think he's eligible to return till week 16,
Yeah, there's
which
just
your fantasy
no-
playoffs are over at that point.
Yeah, and there's no point for the Lions to even bring him back, risking.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even have him practicing. Have him do cardio work, basically.
Real quickly, I know this is way off topic, and I'll get right back into the game. Let's not get crazy on it, but since the game's going on now, Dak has definitely played himself out of that $40 million man contract.
Said it preseason. He's not worth it.
No.
He's not. So, anyways, Galladay, he's a play no matter what, right? I
Yeah.
mean, to me,
Yeah,
He has to be. I mean, he's done nothing but be good all year. A couple down weeks, but that's it.
yeah. I mean, and he's went through Stafford, Driscoll, Blau last week. I mean,
Is Stafford still out for sure, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't think he's been officially ruled out, but it's not looking
I'll
likely.
take
he's
every
gonna-
precaution I can with a spinal cord injury.
Yeah,
you know what I
say
mean?
that they say he's unlikely to play the rest of the year.
Excuse
but
me, fractured spine, not spinal
Well,
cord.
and you don't risk it when you've got blah, blah, blah. You don't risk it.
He looked good last week. Why even rush him back?
Yeah.
I mean,
There's no reason. Again, they're not in the playoff hunt. I don't believe.
and they're
no,
probably.
they're not.
I mean, he'll probably fall on his face this week, but still, I mean, why push Stafford?
You don't. You just simply don't. What about the Vikings? Stephon Diggs, yes.
Absolutely.
Dalvin Cook,
Big,
absolutely.
If Thielen
I
plays,
honestly, I was talking pre-show. I like Madison this week.
Me too. He's been getting
He's been getting touches.
enough play.
And if Dalvin's limited at all, I think they could pull him. I think he has a short lease this week,
or if they're up,
or if they're up,
they could
Yeah.
very well be up.
Yeah.
Enough at halftime to where Madison's getting at least 60% of the run.
Depending on Galladay. If Galladay can keep Detroit in it, Marvin Jones maybe steps up. But yeah, I like Madison too. There is no receiver that stepped up in Thielen's absence. No one has stepped up. So what they've done is they've spread the ball out more amongst those 4 or 5 guys: Irv Smith, Rudolph,
mean,
Laquan Treadwell,
Treadwell had that 50-some yard
Right.
touchdown last week.
and Madison. Madison's been catching the ball in the backfield too.
Speaking
So,
of things you can't rely on, Laquan Treadwell,
oh, absolutely not. Surprised
him and
by-
Josh freaking Dotson.
Blown away Miami didn't claim Laquan Treadwell when they dropped him. Blown away. They should have. I still think there's potential for him. I just think he's on a team with 2 really good wide receivers. I know he
He
has
was like what, pick 8 or something stupid high.
he was up there. I don't think it was that high. 18 seems more like it, but
It doesn't matter, but just a huge disappointment all the way around.
yes, absolutely. Anyone else we like in this game?
Nope.
The Ravens and the Bills.
Lamar, obviously.
Lamar,
obviously.
I like Ingram. Bills run defense has not been very good this year.
I don't care for Ingram this week.
Wasn't a huge letdown last week?
Yeah,
He's
They
hit
were
and
play-
miss.
They were playing the Niners last week.
I
Hit
know,
and
but
miss.
the Niners who have to account for Lamar Jackson, like I had,
I mean,
Jackson.
yeah. So, although
I mean,
in
it was a 20-17 ball game. It's not like Baltimore just went out there and lit them up.
he has had 4 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks with nothing against the Niners, so
That's pretty good.
it's real good,
That's pretty good.
real good, real good. So, yeah, I mean,
That's
I'm
about
not- I'm
that's
probably
about
not-
it on Baltimore.
I'm not playing him on DraftKings or anything. Obviously, if he's your starter, don't get cute, because he is a stud, but don't get too cute, in Dynasty.
This is a pretty big matchup too. This is 2 teams, 1 game apart.
Oh yeah,
So I mean,
I don't like any of the receivers. I do like Mark Andrews.
yeah, I like Andrews, but to me, he's kind of a
It's a bad matchup. Horrible
started
matchup
no
for
matter
him.
what.
yeah.
I know. But
He was I have Andrews listed as my sit, so
Well, you still can.
I know. I'm just
Don't
saying.
be influenced by us.
I'm not.
it just
I like Cole Beasley this week.
Yeah, that's definitely not going with our influence.
no.
I mean, somebody in the pass game's got to do something on
That's bucking
either
the
side of the
trend.
ball.
What?
But on Buffalo's side, I like Josh Allen and Beasley, Baltimore, Ingram, and Lamar. So
Robert Foster's getting worked back in a little bit.
he had a couple catches last week.
Yeah.
What about John Brown? I mean,
like
John
Robert
Brown's
Foster.
had
I'm okay with John Brown.
one game at 9.5 points. Everything else over 10.
I'm fine with John Brown.
Yeah.
He can always get
going
behind
against
somebody
his-
for a score.
I mean, going against his old team.
He's a
well,
wide receiver 3. I mean, he's
Yeah.
what he is.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm okay with playing him and your regular season
And
in
Ravens
the
are-
playoffs.
They're middle of the road pass defense. They're not great. They're just middle of the road.
Absolutely. Moving on.
Yep.
Redskins, Packers.
Geis, all the way.
Yeah, guys.
I like Geis as well.
He's about the only Redskin I like this week.
Calvin Harmon is on the up and up like you were hoping for. So, I mean, he's not done anything great, but he is getting a little more
It's like he's
targets coming his way, 3 for 44 kind of stuff. He's just slowly creeping into a little bit of a relevant role for the
6
team,
targets,
not fantasy.
6, 6, and 5 last 3 weeks.
Yeah,
Broke 10 points once. I mean,
he's getting there.
yeah.
He's getting there.
We talked about it in the preseason. I think Harmon will emerge to be the best receiver on the team
I don't
long
now.
term. Well, I love McLaurin.
Me too.
But-
still more than Harmon now.
I do. Right now I do as well. But I mean, it's like him and Haskins have a little bit more chemistry than McLaurin and Haskins, which is counterintuitive considering
Right.
the college, time they spent together. Obviously, different system, but
Yeah.
I
I
want to
think
say
Harmon's more likely to be a number one type receiver. So,
there we
yeah.
go. That's kind of where I went with it. He's a bigger body guy, 6'2", whereas McLaurin's like 5'11", 6 foot,
Yeah.
but faster. Faster, quicker, and surprisingly better hands.
Oh,
So-
yeah. McLaurin's hands are great.
Unfortunately, right now Dwayne Haskins isn't getting him the ball very well. So,
No, he's
do you think
not.
Geis is taking over as the clear cut?
Yeah, absolutely.
Going to get the bulk majority going forward,
Yeah, Peterson will still get some carries, but yeah, it's Geis. Geis is the guy.
because I want to say it was like 50-50 last week. It
It
may have
yeah.
been slightly in favor of Peterson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now listen, he's shown he's a running back in the league.
Yep.
It's all about staying healthy from here.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
agree.
the proof was last week. He's violent.
Love
Just-
him. Love
He's
watching the guy
violent.
run.
He's tough. He's strong.
And just to keep him healthy,
Smart.
I don't know if they're going to allow him to get to that
20
20
mark, yeah.
carry,
Man, if he's
touch
playing
mark.
like that, though.
But obviously you want to see what he's got,
But there's
but there's no point.
No
really.
incentive. Although
You want him
This-
healthy going into the
this
next year.
division is such hot garbage,
Yeah, it is.
technically the Redskins are still in it.
What are they? 2 back? 3
Yeah,
back? 2
it's-
back?
they're
What are
not-
they have 4 wins or 3?
I think it's 4.
Well,
I don't have it in front
they're
of
only
me.
2 back then.
I mean, how are you in it after the Cowboys started what 6-0? My God. Yeah, they're 3-9. They're 3-9.
Okay, so the 3 back. 3 back with 4 to go. That's yeah.
It's a big mountain to climb.
Yeah.
But and obviously other things have to work out in your favor. But man,
Yeah, like beating Green Bay in Green Bay this week, which isn't going to happen. So
Anybody on Green Bay that we love?
Green Bay's a 12.5
Yeah.
point favorite.
Yeah.
Obviously, we like Devontae
you
Adams.
like all
I
your
think.
studs there.
Yeah, but Aaron Jones. Does Aaron Jones have a bounce back this week?
A huge week for
I
Aaron
think
Jones.
so.
I think so too.
And Jamal Williams is questionable, and if he's out for whatever reason, then Aaron Jones is going to be a monster this week. I think.
Yeah, I like it too.
I think
I agree.
If
He
if
could
he just
be
has a
either
little
way,
bit of I think this could really develop into two teams trying to just run it, and let's say that Green Bay gets up. What are they going to do? They ain't going to keep feeding the rock to Adams. They're not going to force feed him. They're give it to Aaron Jones.
The Rock, you said?
Yes, the rock. I said.
Okay.
I think he's still averaging like 4.5, 5 yards a carry. I mean, he's still doing great.
Absolutely. Anyone else?
Lazard. He worked great last week, but he's not getting more than 2 or 3 targets a game. So
Is that an American Gladiator from like the 90s?
Yes.
Lazar?
Lazard.
Lazar?
Yes.
Now, in the joust versus Lazar.
Laser, all kinds of different Azers.
Lazar. Broncos, Texans. I think Deshaun Watson has a nice week, despite Broncos having a good pass defense. I think Hopkins, we're going to see a nice, strong finish to the season for Hopkins.
I think Hopkins disappoints a little bit this week, guys. I mean, Denver's stellar against the pass.
Denver's pass has been pretty good.
I mean, I talked about it last week. I want to say they've allowed 11 touchdowns, but 7 of them were to 3 guys.
Yeah.
Speaking
Which,
of guys,
Hopkins is obviously elite.
Oh, no,
so,
he's
he
yeah.
could-
absolutely elite, but I don't see him putting up that, 150 yards,
No,
2
probably
touchdown
not.
game.
speaking of elite, are we watching Cortland Sutton slowly become elite?
Oh, I love Cortland
Yeah, I
Sutton
like
in this
Sutton.
game.
I mean, he made
This
some
game and-
massive,
Every game.
massive plays last week.
Yeah.
So I like Sutton. I like Hopkins. Don't really care for Lindsey or Freeman. They
No, because you just never know. I mean,
Yeah.
Lindsey's getting more touches, but you just don't know. I mean, it's hard to trust.
So
What about? Obviously, you're probably not playing Drew Lock in your playoffs, but
no, God, please don't.
he's going up against. He's got a good matchup this week. So
Absolutely. But
what's
man,
his
that's a risky
price?
proposition.
It's got to
play.
be low.
who Lock?
Yeah.
I'd say right around 5. It's got to be
Let's see.
51, maybe 5. But,
Quarterback. Sorry to derail us here, but
No, you're good.
Drew Lock 5,100.
51.
I don't hate it.
Yeah, I don't hate it at all.
I don't hate 30th ranked pass defense in the league. I mean, Lock could have a game.
It really just
I like
depends on
Fant
how
this
much they
week.
allow him to go out there and do.
What do
I
they
mean,
have to lose?
They don't, but I mean, do they say unleash it all and go let him just go sling it out? I mean, it depends on
what
how
else-
much. I mean,
So, players I like. I think Hyde does better this week. I think he bounces back a little bit. I don't think he's back. Back to where he's the bell cow, getting 90% of touches. I think Duke Johnson, he's emerged. I mean, Duke has looked really solid. I think
has.
last 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, both of those guys are plays. I think Duke's a great play in DFS.
yeah.
I mean, still a low price.
Oh yeah.
Don't hate it.
I don't have. I'll pull up his price real quick. Johnson, 3,900. Duke Johnson,
Yeah, I don't mind that at all.
No, that's nice. Nice play.
averaging 10.2 points a game. Hyde averaging 10.3 at 4,500. Royce Freeman 9.3 at 4,000, and Philip Lindsay at 13.2 at 5,300. But the thing about Johnson is most of his production has came the last few weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, put up 20 DraftKings points against the Patriots. A great Patriots defense.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely seems like he's becoming more a part of the offense. And Houston, they're leading that division, but they gotta keep it going because Tennessee's looking good. They're right on their heels. The culture's still there, so Houston's got to keep going. I like the Houston offense this week.
Yeah, I agree.
Same. Chargers, Jaguars.
Gardner.
Gardner.
I think
See,
Gardner gets,
I don't like Gardner.
I think he
this
gets 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't love him this week. I say Fournette, Eckler, Gordon. I'm cool keying them all up. Keenan Allen's been pretty solid over the last couple games, but I don't really like him in this one either.
Does Rivers have a bounce back this week?
No, I don't think he does. I think over the next, the last 3 or 4 games, they're going to be like, yeah, we need a quarterback.
Yeah, there's some regression with Rivers. Bad. Bad.
Hunter Henry, I love Hunter Henry this week. Miles Jack's out. I know Jack's pretty good stopping the run, but he's not a terrible cover linebacker either.
No.
So
What about Mike Williams?
I don't love. I'm not buying.
Either one of
him
you see
on-
that catch he had at the end of that game last week?
Dude always puts up a circus catch.
He had a
Ah,
catch.
that was
Good
nice.
for you. Good for you, buddy.
It was a nice
you got a
catch.
catch.
I really thought he'd be more consistent, as a star, approaching a Devontae Adams level consistency with this, because he's
And he-
acrobatic, huge, strong, fast, athletic, like everything you want in a wide receiver, and then just
Well, I think it
Eh.
kind of goes along with Rivers' decline. So,
yeah.
I mean, because he has it. It's like he just hit a wall this year. He's just really showing his age.
And I'll push back on you. I think Allen's a good play this week. I mean, who the hell does the Jaguars have covering? I mean,
I don't even know.
I think we talked about it a
Bowie?
little bit on the pre-show or maybe
even know if
early in the show. I do think this ends up coming down to like a running back,
Yeah.
dominated game. But I think Allen can get in the end zone. 5-6 catches, 50 yards, touchdown.
I think Hunter and Eckler get those touchdown receptions and a lot of running. But I mean, that's pure guess. Pure guess on both of us.
I mean, he
but
put up almost 19 points against the Broncos, who have one of the best pass
Right.
defenses in the league. So
anyone else we like in this game? Chark? Do we like Chark in this one? I mean, you got to start him. Start your studs.
Yeah, I
But-
like Chark to bounce back this week. He kind of burnt everybody last week.
He hasn't done that often.
isn't that 2 weeks in a row though? I feel like two out of the last 3 Charks let you down.
Yeah, but he has a better rapport with Minshew. So
He does.
You're 100% right on that.
Minshew's been the better quarterback. Man, that's a lot of money that wasted on Foles thanks to Minshew.
Yeah, so is Foles done?
I think so with Jacksonville.
I mean, I don't know how his contract is lined up there. I don't know how.
I want to say there's a bunch of money guaranteed to
That's
him.
what I'm saying. I don't know what it would
Winning-
cost to get rid of him.
Winning,
Winning's more important.
Yeah, winning's better than money.
So I mean, they, maybe. Let's see.
The Vikings had 3 high-priced quarterbacks at once. You know what I mean? So it's not out of the question. I think at one point the Eagles, when Foles was on there, 3 pretty costly
Yeah.
quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be an opportunity for Foles possibly. Like, even though he's making a lot of money, he could still get traded for next to nothing, a la Brock Osweiler in a salary dump, to a team like the Raiders.
True. Yeah, I guess a trade, somebody taking on the salary.
Yeah.
Especially if
that.
they're going to draft a young quarterback.
Right.
And-
Raiders could be a team. Steelers, if Ben retires, there's teams that could be like, yeah, we could win with Nick Foles. Like we We could do that. The
Raiders.
Chargers.
Raiders can't win with Nick Foles if they can't win with Derek Carr.
I mean, hell, I mean, Jameis could be done in Tampa. Carolina could be. I mean, there's several teams out there could be looking for a quarterback.
There's going to be
blows my
there's going
mind
to be
how-
just as many as normal.
How productive those receivers are in Tampa Bay
Bengals.
for
Dude,
them to not win.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's incredible to me.
I honestly think Tampa brings Jameis back, but that's just me.
That'll be second extension with him.
No, he's on his last year of his
Is he?
rookie
I thought-
contract.
For some reason, I thought they extended him already.
No. But I mean, yeah, he's obviously throws a lot of interceptions. He fumbles the ball. Been sacked more than anybody in the league. I know we're a little off topic here with the teams we're talking about, but are you going to be able to bring anybody in that's better than him right
Puts
now?
up 350 yards and 2 touchdowns a game.
But
I mean, that's what he does. I mean, he
Right.
slings the ball all over. I don't know.
I mean, I guess you could bring in somebody that's a little
Safer.
safer,
That's-
but,
but-
I mean, Arians' type of offense is you're throwing the ball down the field. That's
Yeah.
his offense.
Well, and it's not Jameis's fault solely that
No.
team is not any good. Their
No,
running
they
game
need
is
to-
terrible. They can't take pressure off the
Right.
passing game.
Yeah, I mean, and the offensive line's obviously not very good if he's been sacked more than anybody in the league.
Yeah. Jameis could be one of those guys that how old is Jameis? 26, 27?
he's
Got to be. It's
pretty
fifth
young.
year, so yeah,
Yeah.
probably 20. Yeah,
He could definitely be one of those guys that's 30, 31, pulls a little Rich Gannon, and plays really well for somebody and becomes a good quarterback in the back half of his career.
25. The thing about it is all the talent in the world, just some questionable decision makings at times.
I mean,
what it
stat wise, he's probably on pace to break all kind of records. I know he was at one point in time. If he, just the stats he's putting, just because all the attempts.
Yeah,
and-
one of them is going to be the interception record.
Well, yeah.
But
Right.
I want to
okay.
say his career average is something stupid like.
Some of the best out there is throwing a ton of
So
picks.
first 2 years over 4,000, then 3,517, and then 2,918, which missed 5-6 games. I mean, there's a lot of games he didn't play. So yeah,
And what's he at this year?
36-59 with 22 touchdowns, 20 interceptions.
Only a few games
He
left,
has
fellas.
not had a season below 11 interceptions.
Yeah, I mean, he turns over. I think he leads in quarterback fumbles this year too. So I mean, he
Yeah.
turns over the ball.
5 fumbles lost.
Chiefs, Patriots. Anybody we love. I can honestly say there's no one I love. I mean, I'm fine with Edelman.
I like Sony Michel.
I don't love it.
I don't hate it.
I
That-
like Darwin as a DraftKings play, but
I just feel like this is one of those games to where Edelman is going to do what Edelman does. Get 8 catches, might be for 60 yards, but he's going to, be valuable from that aspect. But I can't. The Patriots are so good at eliminating one thing. What's it going to be?
I just think they're going to want. I like Michelle because I think they're going to want to go out there and establish the run, keep Mahomes off the field, and
I'm with you.
Yeah.
In order for the Patriots to win this game, they have to work the clock.
yeah,
They have to basically shorten the game, and how do you do that? With your running game. Sony Michel, he's not great, but he's above average.
yeah. I mean, and if he's not getting it done, I think I like White and I like Burkhead.
Well, and
I mean,
Casey's got a terrible run defense too.
yeah. I mean, one of the worst.
Two of these guys could very well be relevant. I don't think Burkhead's one of them, obviously, but I think White and I think Michelle, both of them could have relevance. I don't love either play, but I don't hate them.
Any receivers?
One thing is, if it becomes a
on either
shootout,
side?
White becomes very valuable.
Oh yeah.
not for me on
Besides, I
receivers.
mean, Edelman we mentioned.
Oh,
but-
yeah.
Edelman's it. I mean, I'm so not thrilled about this game that I'm good with moving on if you guys are.
Man, I mean, obviously, Travis Kelce's probably the best tight end in the league, so you don't sit him. So
No,
Well,
I mean, and
yeah,
it's,
you're not going to sit him.
you got to play Mahomes. You got him, unless you have Lamar Jackson. So
Right.
yeah.
Titans, Raiders. Derrick Henry is my prime guy. He's finishing the
Yeah, I
season
like-
strong like he did
Oh,
last
yeah.
year.
I like both running backs in this
Yep.
game.
I'm a little worried about Josh Jacobs. I know he's playing with a fractured shoulder. So I mean, I'm not sold on playing him against again emerging Titans team.
but I don't
And
think
an
he's been
emerging
bad.
defense.
I don't have.
No, he hasn't.
No.
He hasn't. But I mean, I'm looking for better options.
Okay, I like AJ Brown.
I like A.J. Brown. in
I
this
think
one,
he's
too.
going to have a real nice week.
Yeah.
On the Raiders, Hunter Renfro, that's about it.
And I got to give it to Tannehill. Did you see that pass
Yeah.
to Humphreys last week? That was I talked a little shit about him earlier, but that was the one. That was probably the best Ryan Tannehill deep pass I've ever seen that he threw to Adam Humphreys last week. But I don't love Tannehill this week. Don't love him. I like Henry. Tannehill pulls one of those Minshew games. A couple touchdowns, 250. Nothing crazy. Probably a pick.
I think where Renfro just has 6 catches, 70 yards, maybe gets in the end zone. Waller,
Yeah.
I think Waller has an okay game.
Me too. I think they'll be playing from behind too. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just be an ugly game.
Titans fired up.
And they're playing good,
Fired
and
They're right in.
they're tied
in
for the
hunt.
they're tied for the last wild card spot. They're a
Yeah.
game out of the division, so yeah, they got a lot to play for.
I think they win the division. I think
Such
they
an
end
odd
it
division.
the right way. Yeah. Yeah.
Such an odd division. It's like NFC East odd.
Well, I mean, Houston's leading it like everybody expected they would. I mean,
Right.
they're 8-4, so I mean,
Yeah.
It's not bad.
It's just not overly strong, I guess.
no, I mean,
'Cause
I
I
don't
think the Texans get knocked off pretty easy in the playoffs.
That's what they do.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
Seahawks, Rams. Obviously.
Jacob Hollister.
Eh,
Love Jacob Hollister.
I like that
I
play.
think Rashad Penny, as I talked about earlier in the year, he's the running back for that team.
I like them both still.
yeah, I
I
mean,
like
they both
Benny,
looked good
but
last week.
They did.
They did.
I do like. I mean, I think you're good to fire up most offensive players in this game. If any game has shootout written all over it, it's this one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is a divisional
Yeah,
game.
Sun-
the Rams
it's
trying to prove
Sunday
a
night
point.
football. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's going to be.
Yeah, prime time. Seahawks, trying to keep that division lead over the Niners.
Yeah, I mean, they're the number 1 seed, right? Or who has the one? Are they the 1 seed?
I believe so.
I know they
It's either
have the
them or
division
Saints.
Saints. Yeah, I can't remember.
So I like every skill position play in this game, to be honest. Whether you're playing it as a low upside on DraftKings or playing your studs, playing Tyler Lockett, Cooper Kupp, I think they'll all be fine. I think it'll be a good game.
Cup's been a little
off.
little disappointed for about four
Yeah,
weeks.
he's
or so.
He's fading.
Yeah, he has been a little down.
I mean, he got 18 points last week, but it could have very well been, 10.
Yeah, he's fading. I don't love him. I mean, but I think it's okay to play him.
Seahawks don't have a great pass defense, though.
yeah,
no.
I mean,
And
the
Jared Goff
Rams
played
are
okay last
incredibly
week.
exposable.
yeah, Goff finally had a game last week.
Finally, I hope he doesn't. I mean, I'm facing him in the playoffs, so I hope that he doesn't.
I love Robert Woods this game.
Robert Woods has been on fire.
Yeah,
Robert Woods has been doing what Cooper Kupp was doing.
I think-
That's the scary thing about the Rams. Any of them are
yeah,
capable.
say any one of them's capable.
I think Woods is the receiver to own in the whole game.
I agree with that.
I mean, let's see, last 3 weeks that he played, he was out in week 11 against the Bears, but 95, 97, and 172 yards.
Yeah.
Lowest target count was 9. Target count was 9.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that.
I can agree with that.
Of course, it's probably Brandon Cooks. I mean,
Yeah,
this is what
Is he back?
He
yeah,
played last week.
Yeah, he's been playing.
Oh, he just hadn't done
He
much.
hasn't
really.
had. Yeah.
Giants Eagles last game. Last game.
I'm going to tell you, whenever it comes to DraftKings, I'm avoiding Saquon Barkley.
Man,
He's been bad.
He has been.
I'm
bad.
glad you brought that up because
But-
I got asked a question the other day. Saquon, who did they want to get? This team wanted to get Devontae Parker in their lineup.
Yeah, I saw that.
You saw that, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like, who do you sub out? And I'm like, dude, honestly, I take Eckler out of my flex, stick him where Barkley's at. I bench Barkley and I put Devontae Parker in that flex
I saw
spot.
somebody's comeback was with Eli likely starting.
Mm-hmm.
Saquon probably is a little better this week. I think.
I don't think that's the
This
case
is
at
a-
all.
Man, I'm not going to bank Saquon Barkley's value on Eli Manning playing.
No.
Although, first 2 weeks, rushed for over 100 yards, caught 3 balls and 4 balls. I mean, I don't know. Since the Lions game, which he caught 8 balls for 79 yards and a touchdown, he hasn't broke 16 points.
Yeah, I mean he's been
And
a
that was week
clear
8.
disappointment.
So 15, literally 28 rushing yards, 1 rushing yard. Your Saquon Barkley, 1 rushing yard. The Bears, 59. The Packers, okay, serviceable, 83 yards.
Well, I'm going to tell you 3 guys within a point of each other on average for the season. No names. No names. I said that wrong. But anyway, Saquon Barkley. If Saquon Barkley had a different name, he's averaging the same amount of points per game as Chris Carson, and Le'Veon Bell is on his tail. So, like, if Saquon didn't have the name, I'm going to get him out of my lineup, and I'm going to roll with Ekeler and Devontae Parker. Like, it's that name that everyone's afraid of sitting. Like, Saquon's had 1, 2, 3 single-digit output games. A running back of his caliber shouldn't do that. And I don't even think it's Saquon. It's the line. It's the team. They're bad. And, Saquon's not Superman like everybody thought he was. Like,
I thought he was.
Yeah.
I thought he was unstoppable.
Oh, yeah. But he is. If he's on a bad team, much like most other players, he can't. He's got to have some help. He doesn't have it, so I'm not playing him.
Since we're here, Saquon Barkley or Darius Geis?
Darius Geis this week.
Saquon Barkley. Go ahead.
This week or
This week, right now.
I mean, yeah, Geis has a better matchup.
Okay. Saquon Barkley or Miles Sanders?
Miles Sanders.
I think I'm going Miles Sanders,
I don't
too.
know. I don't even
Isn't
know.
it crazy?
I'm just
I guess
hardcore
my,
off of
my
the,
gut said Geis, but man, I don't know, man.
My gut says
Barkley-
Saquon Barkley all the way because
Barkley's
he's
gonna-
one of the most talented guys in the league.
I love
I'm
Barkley.
I'm still going Barkley over
He's
Geis.
still running back 12. I want.
because the potential is there for Barkley to still get 20 plus touches. And
But what the hell is
Geis-
he doing with him?
I don't know.
Nothing. He's not doing anything with
Not
20
doing
touches.
anything.
I just like the fresh upside of Geis and Sanders right now. I like rolling with that hot hand over Barkley right now.
So let's see. Since week,
I'm going Barkley.
I figured you would.
Yeah.
Since week 10, where is Darius?
That's fine,
Geis?
buddy.
Yeah.
You go Barkley. It's fine. There's no wrong answer. I like Geis and I like Sanders. A little off the Barkley train for a moment. They don't have a lot to play for either.
Listen to this. This is ridiculous. Since
Well, I mean, if the Redskins are still in the freaking division race, the Giants have more wins than freaking Redskins do. I
That's
think
true.
week 10,
but I think
11,
they all know it's
12,
not
and
happening.
13, Darius Geis is
Eli Manning's going to win out and go to the playoffs.
he's 32nd in rushing.
What?
Or Saquon Barkley's 32nd in rushing since week 10. I think there was a bye week in there, but still, it's like a total of 100 and some change. Points per game.
Yeah, he's been bad.
Points per game. He's the 29th running back points per game. Joe Mixon's 14. I mean, to give it perspective, Miles Sanders, who just had a few decent weeks, he's 19. Snell's 20th. Snell's only played 2 weeks, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, number one since week 10 is Henry, then McCaffrey, as far as points per game, and they're close. Fournette's about 4 points behind, then Dalvin, Kamara, which is incredible to me at fifth, 17 points. But I mean, he's just bad.
He has been, but I don't know.
think it's him.
No, I mean, not entirely. I think we talked about this last week. I think he's had some lingering injury issues, plus bad O-line.
He is 0.075 points per game higher than Ronald Jones.
Ronald Jones.
0.1 points above Peyton Barber. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wild stuff, man.
So, once again,
I'm going with
you're
him
going
still.
Barkley over
Yep.
Geis?
Yep.
Barkley over Sanders?
Yep.
All right.
Barkley over Sanders, I could get. I'm still going to go Sanders.
Barkley over
but
James White?
Geis, baby. Yeah, Barkley over James White.
James White's outscored him by 6 points a game in the last 4 weeks.
I still want Barkley. James White has the potential to do nothing.
Barkley's done nothing.
Yeah, he's number 12 running back overall.
I'm okay, but if we're going to talk
That's
about people who have
that's
emerged in the last 4 weeks,
disappointing
let's
for
talk
him.
about people who've disappointed the last 4 weeks.
Barkley still put up points last couple games. He's in double digits. One of them was like what?
I just like I don't
Barkley
know.
or Mark Ingram?
14 and a half last week.
I'm talking about this week.
Right. No, I get it.
I'm not sitting Barkley over a running back that doesn't catch many passes. Except for Geis.
Okay, so you're going to sit Barkley.
Mark Ingram's not going to catch passes. The floor, Barkley's floor is safer than Mark Ingram's.
But,
Yeah,
but his
I
points per
agree.
game is 6 points higher than Mark Ingram's. I mean, that's it's concerning. There's my point. What about Rashad Penny?
I'm still playing
Barkley.
Barkley. There's not a lot
Chris
of guys
Carson.
I'm going to sit Barkley for,
Barkley.
but Eckler's one of them. Sanders is one of them. And who else did you name?
I mean, you're going to take Henry. You'll take McCaffrey, Fournette, Cook, Kamara,
This week, Fournette,
Eckler?
yeah.
James White. You said you don't want to do someone who doesn't catch unless they catch a lot of passes. And James
Yeah.
White's their pass down guy.
Yeah, but I'm talking about a guy that's the main running back and the pass catcher, not just James White.
Le'Veon-
James White's like hit or miss.
Le'Veon
to be
Bell.
hon- No, fuck no.
5 points a game.
I don't.
And he
I'm
catches
just,
passes,
it
so,
just
I mean-
it's crazy. It's just crazy the fall off that Saquon's had. Now,
This year,
here's what
yeah.
I'm going to tell you. Like, out of all of them that we named, as far as the ones that were actually kind of questionable, I would take Geis and Sanders, but that's about it. I like Barkley over most other players.
Me too. It's
I
still
like Barkley
Barkley.
over Mixon.
The upside's still there. I just, like I said, the hot hand of Geis and Sanders right now just tempt me a little more than Barkley.
Agreed.
Geis's touches is the only thing that's worrying me. I don't know if he's going to get more than 12, 13 touches.
Dude's violent.
Superstar. He doesn't need more. than
Honest to God, he's running the ball
I'm
better
just
than
kidding. Everyone needs more than 10 touchdowns.
Geis is running the ball better than Barkley has all season.
No, he
Barkley
is.
catches passes. That's the neutralizer there. But
Geis has ability. In
he's
that.
getting there.
He's
Like
yeah.
Kelvin Harmon. He's on his way.
Yeah.
Anyone else we like in this game so we can quit talking about Superman that's really 12th man in fantasy this year.
I'm sorry. I felt like it was worth pointing out how disappointing he's been.
He is.
We talked about Kamara being a disappointment, but Barkley is
more.
that much worse right now.
Yeah, he's more disappointing than Kamara.
A lot, I would have taken him 1-1.
Me too.
No doubt about it, and it wouldn't have been a question.
And
You
the
know,
people
I-
saying McCaffrey, they were correct.
I wish Neil was here
Why?
to talk about Barkley because he's loaded at running back in the red zone with Barkley and McCaffrey, and he missed the playoffs.
Wow.
I mean, going into the year having Barkley and McCaffrey,
You
You're-
can't miss.
That's
you're
what-
thinking,
that's why I
you're
missed-
thinking taking down the championship.
I was talking about those sleeper belt leagues that I sucked in. I had Barkley in all the ones I missed the playoffs in.
Yeah.
Because I wasted the 1 or 2 pick on him.
Yeah.
You would have been comfortable, all jokes aside, if those two are your running backs going into the season. If, like, Curtis Samuel was your number 2.
Oh, you think
Oh,
you're a
yeah.
shoe?
You're
I
like,
mean,
You think you're a shoe?
it doesn't even matter who my number 3 receiver is.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he ended up with a good record. I mean, he was in a tough side. Like I think he was 8-5, but he missed the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah,
But, I
you
mean-
think you're a shoe in for sure.
Shoe in
Jeez.
misses the playoffs.
Yep. I don't like a lot
Sorry,
of other
Neil.
players here.
Two of the guys, I mean, from studs from last year, the Barkley, Connor, like there's some disappointments from the top.
There is. Definitely is.
All right, sorry to get off track.
We didn't think that Dalvin Cook would be the running back 2 points per game wise. Eckler, Fournette, Henry, Aaron Jones.
I said
We thought-
I said preseason Dalvin Cook was fantasy MVP
Well, yeah.
running back.
I mean,
so.
But Eckler's benefited pretty tremendously.
bit of a hot take though. So you
yeah.
nailed that one.
Yeah.
But not many people thought that.
No.
Many people didn't think Cook, Eckler, Fournette, or Henry would be in the top 5, or Aaron Jones number 6. They thought the next guys would be Zeke, Kamara, Chubb, Connor, Barkley. Chubb's even
Yeah.
a little bit disappointing.
Yeah. Well, since Hunt came along,
You
Yeah.
know, I don't think
It
we
has-
covered,
it-
I don't think we covered that game, by the way.
And he's still no, we still need to. My bad. But I mean, Chubb has still been good. He's running back 9, but points per game wise.
Chubb or
But,
Barkley,
Barkley.
Chubb.
I got to go Chubb.
I don't like anyone else in that game. Let's
Kareem-
nail this Browns Bengals game and get out of here.
Real quick, Darius Slayton, like
Sure.
him this week.
Sure.
He hasn't went more than 2 weeks without scoring a touchdown this year.
Sure.
What's
He's
the
at
injury
2.
status on Tate and Ingram?
Tate's practice,
playing.
I think, in full today.
Still like him. Still like Slayton and I like Tate.
Yeah, I don't think I'm playing Slayton this week.
Miami just destroyed the Eagles with the pass game. Give me Tate, Slayton all day long.
Yeah.
I think both of them are relevant this week, regardless of Ingram's status. And I feel like Ingram's out.
Wide
I
receiver
think
on the
he is
Eagles? No thanks, I'm good.
I don't mind Alshon.
I always mind him. He's a bum.
Oh God, I thought he was going to be so good.
He's a bum.
and he was for a couple years.
He's okay.
Giants
He's
have been
just
really
okay.
Giants have been really good against the tight end, but
They're bums.
I think Goddard's the play.
I like Goddard.
Love Goddard.
He's working his way in there. He's
Were
the
you calling
third
Alshon
option.
tight end?
Third option.
what?
Was you calling Alshon tight end?
No, I was gonna talk about. I was gonna say something about
Say
Ertz,
Ertz getting slaughtered.
but anyways,
How's he gonna do?
Browns,
Ertz rent a
Bengals.
car.
Do we talk about Browns Bengals?
We are right now. Browns Bengals. Who you like?
Shit show of a game.
Kareem Hunt. I like Kareem Hunt. I like,
I like
Nick
Kareem
Chubb.
Hunt. I don't like him on DraftKings.
I like Hunt too. I like both of them actually, Hunt and Chubb. I think this is their best game together in the backfield
I
this
think
week.
Landry destroys. Absolutely.
I think Beckham gets him this week. He's freaking due, man. He's got to do something.
And he's
Does he?
cheap.
I don't know.
He's only 6,300 on DraftKings.
You
this
would
week.
think. He's been just mediocre.
Did you guys see comments about him?
He wants out.
Well,
Of course he does.
He didn't say that.
No one's winning. I
He
want
didn't
out.
say he wanted out.
Okay.
He was asked if he was going to be there next
same thing.
year, and he didn't. He didn't answer the question. He said he's not going to say he wants in or he wants out. He's focused on blah 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 this year. Talk to him in the offseason.
Why? They're not making the playoffs. What's he focused on?
I don't know.
What are you focused on, OBJ?
He's wanting to beat the Bengals. I don't know.
Alrighty.
Yeah, he's got all
Anybody on
kinds
the Bengals?
of bad blood with him.
John Ross is back this week.
I'm just
cares?
glad he finally focused on getting his hair looking like it's not 1994. Got rid of those frosted tips. Saved by the bell.
Boyd's healthy, good
Yeah.
to go. With John Ross, that just helps Boyd.
Yeah.
That's my only thought on that. I think Mixon has a better game than he's
Yeah, I like
had for the
Mixon
biggest
this
part of the year.
Hurts Alden Tate, for sure, in my opinion. Helps Boyd.
Agree. Both counts.
The only reason I don't like Hunt this week on DraftKings is because of his price. 6,600, kind of priced up for a guy that's only getting 10, 11 touches a game.
Yeah, but 5 of them are receptions, and there's 5 points.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if they were carries, it's a little different story.
But, I mean, he still hasn't put up more than like 17 points. And I'm just saying his price
His price is
is too high.
Yeah. I don't mind Baker this week.
No.
Yeah, he's fine. He'll be fine.
Every week you like guys against the Bengals. So
He's coming back a little too. Baker's
I agree.
he's not not as much trash talk going on about Baker as there was before the last 3 weeks.
3 or 4 weeks or so, he's looked pretty good.
Yeah.
So
the
he's.
Steelers game.
I think maybe one of you guys told me that or talked about this, or I read it somewhere. So he basically went from trying to be the captain of the team, and serious about everything, to just he started having fun again, and it's changed the way he played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick, as we exit, just a little fun fact at the end of the game, end of the show, my bad. I got 2 top 15 players on the season, points per game regardless of games played. Number 10 and number 14, names you won't guess. Try to guess them real quick.
Hold on.
Like overall points per game,
Average points per game
is this
regardless of games played. Like, so if you filter the whole season, but just by points per game average, 2 names in the top 15 that don't belong.
Obviously, you're taking out
All positions.
All positions. Or,
All positions.
Gardner Minshew and Drew Lock.
Hux?
I guess he did say David Blau.
Maybe that might be one of them.
And you're on the right path.
Yeah.
You're on the right path, brother.
I don't think Drew Lock put up enough to be up there.
Give me a
Last
guess
week.
so we can exit.
Case Keenum. I don't know.
There we go. Thank you. All right. You were right on David Blau. Number 14 overall on the season, points per game, 26.8 in our league format. The reason you were on the right path, number 10, is Detroit quarterback Jeff Driscoll, 27.7 a game. So that officially, points per game for the 2019 season, 3 Lions in the top 15, 3 quarterbacks: Stafford, Driscoll, David Blau. Thanks for listening.
Good night.
This concludes another episode of the Back Row Fantasy Show. Thanks for listening, and be sure to give us a review.